All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome to Live from Tech Alley. I am one of your hosts today, Jason LeDuc. You're going to see a series of us coming through today, but we are here at Taverna Costera in downtown Las Vegas. We're actually inside today instead of up on the roof deck, and it's kind of nice because it's a little cool here on a November day in Las Vegas. You know, we love being upstairs, but we had to be inside today. So we are here, Taverna Costera. They are one of the primary sponsors for the Tech Alley event. They are hosting the coffee, the water, the location here for where we can do our networking. And most importantly, they are hosting a free lunch for everybody who's attending here at Tech Alley today. So if you're in Las Vegas, if you are interested in tech topics, if you're interested in tech startups, software development, AI, prototyping, hardware, you name it, drones, I think I said AI already, you know, fintech, crypto, Bitcoin. If you're interested in any of those things and you are in Las Vegas today and you don't have anything else going on, come on down to see us at Tech Alley, downtown Las Vegas, corner of Charleston and Main. We're centered around Taverna Costera. There are lots of great tech meetups and tech talks going on today. You're always going to learn something. And I've been coming to Tech Alley for almost 3 years now. And every time I come, I make a really valuable connection every single time. Today is no exception because our first guest today is someone I just met. His name is Tarby Bryant.
That's correct.
I'm going to let you explain who you are and what you do, but we just met a couple of minutes ago, and already I've made at least one valuable connection at Tech Alley. So if you're looking to make valuable connections in business or in tech or just in the Las Vegas area, come on down. Tarby, tell us all about yourself.
Well, Jason, thank you very much. I'm Tarby Bryant. We moved here just in August of this year. I run an event once a month called the Gathering of Angels. We're using Blackfire Innovation as our venue for this event. It's an angel network of folks who get together once a month for 2.5 to 3 hours. We have 4 young companies that make presentations, each for 15 minutes, and a group of angel investors that come and sit. If they see something they like, usually 1 to 30 days after the meeting, they write a check. The Gathering of Angels is 28 years old, something that I started in New Mexico, spread it all over the country. We do it only here in Las Vegas now. I've done over 450 fundings, ranging from 10,000 at the low end to 12.5 million for a medical device company called iMed that we raised $12.5 million for.
I have so many questions. So as you and I talked about off camera, the audience, if you've been watching a while, you probably know this, but if you're new, you don't, or if you just don't listen to what I say, you probably don't. When I was working on my MBA at UNLV, I was part of a student-led angel investing group called Rebel Venture Fund, and that's where I fell in love with the tech world.
Right.
I was 20 years in the Air Force. I was an engineer. I did tech stuff in the Air Force,
Right.
But that's very different than the tech world and the startup world.
That's right.
So I fell in love with doing deals. I fell in love with watching pitches. I fell in love with looking at pitch decks and giving founders feedback on their pitch decks.
Yep.
So I got away from it a while, then I got back involved a couple of years ago. So I have so many questions about its Gathering of Angels.
Gathering of Angels.
Do you have an investment philosophy? Do you have a certain kind of companies you invest in? Is it very broad? Is it very narrow? What is it you're looking for in your angel network?
Well, as always, angel groups and also venture capital is always looking for a unicorn that basically has a billion-dollar valuation, but that's not always possible. So anything that's interesting that I can understand the business model for, they send me an executive summary, 1 or 2 pages, the first part of their business plan, and send me a pitch deck of 12 to 20 slides. I take a look at it, and if I would invest in it, I will open a discussion with an entrepreneurial company. I extend them an invitation to present. They pay a small fee of $1,500 to present.
Okay.
You get me as your business coach for 8 to 10 hours, preparing that particular company for a pitch. The pitches occur, I do practice sessions online on Zoom, preparatory to them presenting. I help them with their executive summary, tighten it up, and also go through the slide deck. And I have kind of a model of 5 minutes of the 15 minutes is on the product or service,
Okay.
5 minutes on the management team and advisors, 5 minutes on the 5-year projections, the capital needs, the use of funds, and the exit strategy. And then what I call a good Southern Baptist close. Come on down, join the team.
Love it. Love it. Got to have that call to action at the end. We all learn in business pretty early when we're marketing and doing sales. You got to have that call to action at the end. So founders do pay a fee to come pitch to Gathering of Angels, but what you're really paying for, if I understand it right, you're not paying to come pitch. You're paying for the coaching to be ready to pitch in front of the group, and so you have a really professional, high quality, well-crafted pitch before you go in front of the group.
Well, that's really right. I've had people, entrepreneurs that are uncoachable, or they refuse.
I have too.
Or refuse to take coaching. And they say, I do this for a living, and I tell them pretty clearly that I do as well. And often they've paid a fee in advance. They say, I'm not coachable. I don't want to have a coaching session. And I said, you're not going to present. So they have to go through my process. I have to basically clean up their act a little bit, put the right kind of lipstick on, and then send them out in front of the angel investors. I also help them with the follow-up. Everybody that presents at the Gathering of Angels gets a evaluation sheet. So you're graded by the people in the audience on your business model, the quality of the presentation, the depth of the management team, the advisors that are helping, are the financial projections achievable, and do you have a clearly defined exit strategy? How do I get my money back as an angel investor? It's not Uncle George, who doesn't really care whether he gets paid back or not. These are angel investors that you as a presenter have never met before.
So you said you've invested in over 450. You've made 450 investments.
That's
How many
correct.
pitches have you seen to get to that?
I've probably done over 4,000 pitches over the time. And to basically present, it's a 15-minute presentation, but I see about 20 potential presenters every month to pick the best 4.
So doing math in my head, you choose to invest in about 10% of the pitches you see.
That's correct.
And then for every pitch you decide to see, you look at 20 more.
Yeah.
So
I'm a busy guy.
You're a busy guy, which is part of what I'm getting at, but also founders, when you're out there, understand that investors are looking at this number of companies. They don't have a lot of time to look at your pitch. So you want to be crafted really, really well. You want to make that impact in that executive summary. Yes, the rest of the business plan is important. You got to do all that work, but you got to communicate really clearly to investors why you're a good investment for them.
That's really correct. And, catching somebody's attention in the first minute is critical. If you tell a joke that doesn't work, that doesn't work. And if you basically talk about yourself during the first part, they're interested in you, but they're also interested in why this is a novel offering that nobody else has, or you've got a different turn, a twist on it, something that basically makes it unique and marketable, and that maybe you have some customers that are already, proving the business model of what you've got, and you've surrounded yourself with a strong management team. Somebody asked me recently when I was teaching a course in Georgia at Kennesaw State, what are the 3 most important things for an angel investor? I said, they're easy. Management team, and management team.
I wanted to get into that because, if you watch things like Shark Tank, if you're around this community a little bit, every investor is different. They have different priorities, things they're interested in. But universally, what they say the most important thing is the management team, much more so than the idea. And you talked about ideas being novel, much more so than the idea being novel. You don't always need to be in a blue ocean.
That's right.
If you have a great management team, this is my understanding as someone who, as a student-led angel investing fund with money that had been donated to the university, not investing my own money, I certainly was looking at a lot of things. But that management, we were always concerned with, can they pull off what they say they're going to pull off?
And does the business model change? And the answer is it always changes, because things happen, and you surrounding yourself, because you don't have any money usually when you start, but having some people that believe in you as the CEO, that you can basically pull off this transaction, surrounding yourself with good people on the management team, either in an interim position or basically full-time if they're willing to step aside and, follow your dream, and then have advisors that you listen to for coaching.
That's a great line of questioning I want to follow up on, because a lot of founders do find themselves in that position. It's time to step aside. It's time to hire that professional CEO, that professional COO. How do you know as an investor when it's time to have that conversation with a founder?
Well, you have to look at, does he or she have the ability to execute?
Mm-hmm.
Vision without execution is hallucination. So you basically have to be able to execute your scheme and dream that you have and your business plan. And if you're unable to execute it and you haven't surrounded yourself with people that can help you get it done, you need to be looking for the door.
And that's the clip of the day. Vision without execution is hallucination. I'm going to steal that for my courses I work with leaders on. I love it so much. I do want to dig into one more topic before we let you go, because I know you've got a lot of people you want to meet today. I'm sure you want to get over to see Kurt's talk.
I do.
So traction. How do you feel about traction? You talked about proving the business model out 10 years ago. Traction, not so important to as many investors as it is now. How do you feel about seeing that traction, getting those sales or those pre-sales, having a founder or an entrepreneur team do that? Put more simply, how important is traction to you versus the rest of what you look at in an investment?
Well, I think you have to prove the business model to prove that, people like the dog food. And if they don't have some pre-sales, even if it's a beta, you give it away for a while, then you start getting people that would pay for what you have. I think that's a validation of your business model. And then surrounding yourself with a good team, obviously. Traction, having a marketly viable product is critical. Having somebody that likes the dog food and then having a team around it that basically, believes in you and believes in your dream and is willing to spend all night, all day long in your behalf. So you've got to have all of those to make it work.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, you've heard me say it a million times, and now you don't have to believe me. You can believe someone who's actually putting their own money in to investing, and how important traction is, and getting those first sales, and then adjusting that product market fit and continuing to get sales. Anything else you want to share with us? Tell everyone how they can reach you if they're a founder who's looking to connect up with Gathering of Angels.
So again, my name is Tarby Bryant, Tarby, Bryant. It's called the Gathering of Angels. My telephone number is 404-606-2193. My email is easy, Tarby C. Bryant, C in the middle, tarbybryant@gmail.com. The event is the 20th of November. December the 10th is the second one, January 15th, the third one, and then I've got a big event in April of next year. GatheringofAngels.com. I'd be glad to work with anybody that is interested and looking for capital.
Well, I can't wait to follow up with you, talk about us somehow participating in your event coming up in April. I think that'd be fantastic. Looking forward to continuing the conversation, Tarby. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Good luck and enjoy Tech Alley.
Good. Thank you so much.
Dave Berlin, thanks for cleaning up a little bit. Dave Berlin, who's going to come sit in this chair in just a second, has been a good Marine for us all morning. Has been cleaning up as I tear the place apart. So Dave Berlin, how the heck are you?
Better now.
Better now?
Better now.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I think things are
a little bit.
Things are coming to fruition, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But things are coming to fruition with Global Entrepreneurship Week and some Vets in Tech stuff. And you are going to get a tiny break after Global Entrepreneurship Week. But tell us what's going on. I should have mentioned this in our. Ooh, I do not like that at all. That table's a little loose. For our Global Entrepreneurship Week, which officially kicks off worldwide on Monday, right?
Officially, yes.
We in Las Vegas are not following conventional norms, because we never do here in Las Vegas.
We're being very disruptive.
And we're disruptive, which is the name of the game in entrepreneurship, right? We are setting the example for the rest of the world, literally. We are starting our Global Entrepreneurship Week here today with the Tech Alley event.
Yep.
And you have heard myself, Dave, just about everyone who comes on this stream sing the praises of Tech Alley, and Josh Levitt, who's the visionary behind it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get Josh on here a little later today to talk about what's new and exciting about Tech Alley. But give us the rundown on Global Entrepreneurship Week, generally what it is, what's coming up here in Vegas, why people who are watching and going to be in Vegas this week, what they should be coming out for, and why they should be excited about it.
Yeah, well, there's layers to that, right? At first, I just do want to.
That's why I asked it the way I did.
Yeah, I want to echo.
I'm learning how to host.
I definitely want to echo everything about Tech Alley, because it's almost like in a blink, I could see 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I remember it was cold outside. I remember Jeff Tatarchuk was doing a presentation at the building next door, which has changed a few different concepts since then.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. We're going to need to be right up on them today.
Right on them. Yeah, it's been fascinating to see how much Tech Alley has grown and where it's come through. Different changes. It's hot outside during the summer. There's been those weeks where we're just sweating to death and the cameras are dying upstairs. And
we literally had ice packs on the camera until last month.
Yeah,
and I brought them today just in case we need them. So.
Yeah, right. And then it's kind of like a muscle memory, right? So it's just really fascinating to see how much this has been such a connective piece to the community. And just like that, Global Entrepreneurship Week is no different. You know, I've been a fan of Global Entrepreneurship Week ever since I went to my first one almost 10 years ago.
10 years ago, right?
And
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. But then I also got the experience to check one out in Kansas City, which is where it was founded. It's part of the Kauffman Foundation, and the easiest way that I've found to describe it that people can digest is Global Entrepreneurship Week is 10,000 events all around the world this week. They're happening in 120 other countries all around the world, and this is happening really to inspire and educate and promote the idea that entrepreneurship. The theme this year is entrepreneurship is for everyone. Now, you and I know that it does weed out the people that aren't really conditioned for entrepreneurship.
Everyone can be an entrepreneur. Yeah. Not everyone will be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a great point.
And I can tell you, as someone who's had a business for 10 years now, there are hard days. And I'm going to tell you there are hard days if you want to be an entrepreneur. You're not going to believe me. I mean, you're going to go, yeah, sure, there's going to be hard days. You're not going to get how hard some of these days are where you're like, maybe I'll go get a civil service job.
Right. Sometimes we'll do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I guess the whole idea for Global Entrepreneurship Week, in each community, you know, I tell people it's like the reverse Olympics. You know, for the Olympics, everybody competes in their sport. They all go to one place every 2 to 4 years, and they show what they're about. Mm-hmm. In Global Entrepreneurship Week, it's something that we could celebrate in our individual communities. So here in Las Vegas, over the years, we've had anywhere from 20 to 30 events all during that week, while everyone else is hosting events all over the world. One of the challenges that we've had for the last 2 years is it happens to fall the same week as F1, but we're not looking at that as a hindrance. We're looking at that as an opportunity,
absolutely,
to still show up, right? Still show up, host events. I think this year we've got close to 30 events that are happening all around F1. So we've got the events that happen today for Tech Alley. We'll be doing a Vets in Tech Veterans in Entrepreneurship panel a little bit later today. We've got
which our intent is to bring that to you live on this stream in its entirety, and that will be what time?
That's at 1:15.
1:15. So if you're really interested in hearing from some veteran entrepreneurs, tune in. I mean, stay all day.
Right.
Hear me now, believe me later. Stay all day. It's all going to be great. But we're going to try to bring you that entire panel from the room it's in on this stream, top to bottom.
Yep, absolutely. And then starting on Monday, we have a whole network of events that are happening throughout the week. One of the really cool things that we try to do is remove the barriers for people to host events. One local venue, Bottega Exchange, actually opened up their doors all week. They're doing free co-working all week, and they have not only speaking space for keynotes, but they also have some workshop space that they've donated as well.
I'm doing my event there on Friday.
Yeah, you're doing an event there on Friday. We've got a couple of different events going on Monday. Events going on throughout Nevada Partners all week long. And then there are going to be some people on and off the strip that are hosting some stuff sort of in conjunction with that. So it's really fascinating to see how it's changed, how it's evolved over the years. And then we've got some really great stuff that we're looking forward to next year that I'm going to be doing through Vets in Tech. In the way that we got involved earlier this year, we did a just like a mini Global Entrepreneurship Week. We did a Freedom Week that was just veteran entrepreneur stuff the week after 4th of July. And we're going to be duplicating that in a couple different communities throughout the United States.
Can't wait. That's going to be exciting. So before we dig into what's exciting coming up this week, before we dig into that, tell everybody who is going to be in Vegas or is interested in what's happening in Vegas this week coming up, where they can find the Global Entrepreneurship Week events?
Yeah,
Where they can
yeah.
learn more.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's two different places. One is you can go to the global site, which can be a little challenging to navigate, but we still encourage people to check it out. It really helps you understand everything from a bigger perspective. So I remember I had somebody set up an event for Thursday. Shout out to the team over at OTSI. They're going to be hosting a Funders and Founders event. But when he got on the global site, it's gew.co. He goes, oh, this is global. And there's literally a big global map with all the pinpoints of all the events that are going on.
I mean, it is in the name.
It is in the name. But still, somehow some people thought it was just my thing. But gew.co, that's the global site. You could search by the city, you could search by the country, and you can even search by the map if you want. But that's going to show all the events that are happening. Then beyond that, we've kind of localized that information as well. So if you go to www.gewnevada.com, not co, but .com, you'll be able to see the calendar of events there. That's a little bit more on a localized level. So we're trying to make sure that those communicate
little
the same
friendlier, little user friendly,
little easier to
won't
navigate.
help you if you're in another city.
Yep.
At least it won't help you find events in your city,
Right.
but it will help you find events in Las Vegas that you might think are cool and want to join us at.
Yeah, yeah. And with that, I also want to add, a special shout out to the team that's made this whole year happen. Jason, you've been on the volunteer committee for that.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got some great community organizers. So we did expand our efforts up into Reno. So there's just a few events that are happening in Reno. But big shout out to Lourdes Madrigal. She's with the Veterans Business Outreach Center. She raised her hand and like a good veteran. Right, we said yes, but she helped out and get a few events going up there. But we're really going to be in a good position to make a significant dent in the universe next year. And then also the local team here, we've got Elias Benjaloon with Nevada Partners
North Las
and
Vegas.
TechStart. Yep, he's from North Las Vegas. We've got Nadia Russo and Lauren Jones here in Las Vegas, and then we had Ben Lafsky step up.
And not just as Las Vegas community organizers, Nadia and Lauren have really stepped up in a lot of ways to make sure the lines of communication are flowing, and people know what's going on. They've really become kind of the glue that's pulled this thing together.
Lots of
besides
social
Dave,
media
who's leading the charge. So.
Yeah, lots of social media posts. That's been really helpful. And then there's going to be a big press release that goes out following this, and that's where we're really going to bring in the government agencies and officials to say, hey, this is what we did. We've done this a couple years now, kind of bootstrapping it. We're going to need some help and support. And I think next year we're going to be in great shape. But then also Ben Lafsky.
Yep, I wanted to make sure we shout out Ben, not just for being the Henderson organizer,
Yep.
but for the website and all the tech behind what's going on with GEW in Vegas this week.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in communicating everything over. And I know that we've got some stuff that's on the local site, some stuff that's on the global site. We'll make sure that before the end of the week, before we turn in all of our reports and all of our data to Gen Global, that we'll make sure that that's all consistent across the board, and we'll see kind of what impact we actually made here during Global Entrepreneurship Week.
One more thread to pull. You talked about Gen Global really briefly. You mentioned it. What is Gen Global?
Yeah. So Gen Global, and there's elements of that I didn't even bring up this year because I really wanted to get the community to understand what Global Entrepreneurship Week is. The big pool, Gen Global is a international nonprofit organization. I've had the honor and privilege of meeting the chairman of the board, who was one of the original employees.
You might have been in an elevator, right?
Well, no, I met him at the same event. I met Jeff Hoffman at David Meltzer's studio years ago, and then we circled back up in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And then when I met him in Puerto Rico, he's actually been to Las Vegas twice, and he has a really unique interest in what's going on here. Not only because it's Las Vegas, but because he's friends with like Pitbull, and he's friends with Shaquille O'Neal and stuff like that. So
you're gonna give them boom boxes too?
We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. But Gen Global is actually like 13 programs, all that have to do with entrepreneurship on a global level. Global Entrepreneurship Week is just one of those organizations within the 13 programs. So Gen Global is really a fascinating organization that's moving mountains all around the world. A lot of philanthropists, but one big element that we didn't even bring to GEW this year is there's a global pitch competition.
Yep, and maybe our new friend Tarby will help us out with that in
exactly.
Vegas.
I think we're going to be able to make a significant splash with that coming up in 2025, and we'll really start ramping up towards that, especially with some of the bridges that we're building between here and Austin, Texas, with South by Southwest and things of that nature too. So Gen Global is a fascinating organization. Really excited to see how we could leverage more of their programs here in time. And then as we do that, I think it's really going to help shape a pretty impressive ecosystem here in Las Vegas.
So, are we done with GEW? I want to move on.
I think so.
Okay, you mentioned Austin, Texas.
We'll put a pin in it.
And when I think of Austin, Texas, I always think of Vets and Tech, because that's how we found out about Vets and Tech here in Las Vegas. So tell us about what's going on with Vets and Tech. You and I have had some fantastic Vets and Tech experiences recently, so fill us in.
We have. Well, just most recently, speaking of Austin, Texas, there was just another event in Austin Friday night. So last night, actually. So we had VetCap. VetCap was in Austin, Texas last night. For those of you that may remember, if you were here during Freedom Week, we actually had a VetCap here in Las Vegas.
In July.
VetCap is July 11th. Yeah. VetCap is one of those organizations or one of those events that is specifically hosted around educating entrepreneurs, especially in the veteran ecosystem, how to get funding. So we had somebody there that spoke about bootstrapping. We had somebody there that spoke about traditional lending. We had somebody that spoke about venture capital. And it's really fascinating to hear all of the different ways that veterans can get funded depending on the type of business that they have. But also, hearing it directly from the organizations that are writing checks is very, very incredible. So we did the one in July. There's one that was just in Austin, Texas last night. And just a week ago, we were in San Francisco. We took a nice little, 9-hour drive?
9 hours up, 9 hours back.
9 hours up, 9 hours back.
We laughed,
we
shared, we cried.
We solved all the problems of the economic development world.
I think the two of us riding up in my Jeep and riding back, we spanned every possible human emotion. And we solved every problem the world could face. And I only wish we remembered everything we talked about.
I even broke up with my girlfriend, which it happened. We're just
no lie. He broke up with her via text.
It's very emotional trip.
Yeah.
But we're winning. That was a great
Such
trip.
a good time. That's our second time going up to that.
Well, and this came up in the meeting because that's another one of those interesting things that trying to get people to understand what Vets and Tech here. We've been working on this for over a year, but I took one photo in front of their backdrop, and all of a sudden, people start getting it. Whenever you see, all the big brands like AT&T and Uber and stuff like that, they're like, wait a minute, what?
Never underestimate the power of a red carpet. Now I know
and
for the more and a step and repeat. I know for some of the more technically minded folks, because I didn't get this either until very recently.
Yeah,
this is we don't do red carpets and step and repeats and all that kind of stuff for our own egos. We do it to promote the event that's going on. We do it to promote the organization that's going on. We do it to promote all those great sponsors who are on the backdrop of what we're doing. We have our Vets and Tech banner here. I don't think we have our sponsor banner here, but
we don't. I broke it.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It still works.
We're getting more though.
Unless you broke it more.
Well, no, that's actually a good point. No, I did break it a little bit more, but actually I couldn't figure out how to work it. But that did come up on the last call with Vets and Tech, and they're like, "Oh, if you guys need some marketing stuff, let's get it going."
Yeah, it was time for new ones anyway. The sponsor list on that was very old anyway. But yes, that's why we do that. It's not about our own ego being up on camera. And it's about promoting all the great people and great things that are going on with the organization.
And we ended up raising a lot of money at the. I just found this out too in the recap meeting that I had with the director or with the CEO and the COO, the senior leadership team. We raised over $60,000 just in the auction alone.
That was my low end estimate of what we raised that night, because I was trying to do the math in my head on the auction plus the ticket prices and donations and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you've never been to a live auction, like I know a lot of events do silent auctions, and that's fun. If you've never been to a live auction with a real live auctioneer, this is mind-blowingly fun, even if you're not bidding on anything.
And their auctioneer is the guy who's like the hype man for the Sacramento Kings, right?
Hype man for the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors.
Wow.
So yeah, he does it right. We need to get him down here for one of these sometime.
Well, we've got to get you know who we need to get? It's who's our guy here in Vegas? It's the Mark Chinook guy, right?
Mark Chinook.
Yeah, we need to get that guy. So calling you out, Mark. Calling you out. This is what they do in San Francisco. This is what we got to do here.
I think if we asked, he would at least consider it.
Yeah. Well, he's a
pretty good guy.
He's the guy that hosts the Mondays After Dark, right?
Days After Dark.
And then
yep.
the Veteran Social Club is actually being featured at their
Oh, are
event
they?
Monday night.
Oh, is it this month?
Yeah,
Oh, I got to see if I can
so-
get tickets.
so we
I don't
might
know if it's
have
too
to-
late. I didn't.
I bet
I
we
didn't
can pull some
realize
off.
it was this month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Veterans-
so and that booked like a year ago.
We don't have anybody from Veterans Social Club today, do we?
We don't. We don't.
We need to do that sometime. Is get them down here. I'm only really peripherally involved. Can you give a quick rundown on Veteran Social Club?
Yeah, Veteran Social Club is another great veteran organization here. As you know, for those of you that kind of follow me or that have been on a lot of stuff that I'm in, I very much focus on the world of entrepreneurship. Now, because I'm with Vets in Tech, that carries over into employment and education. However, there are a lot of other great veteran organizations that are out there. We'll have a few guests today, but one of them is Veteran Social Club, and TJ is a phenomenal human. He actually helped develop a lot of the veteran program stuff for MGM.
He first created the veteran program for Caesars.
Yeah, for
and I
Caesars,
believe
that's
that was
right.
the first really true comprehensive veteran benefits program for a resort casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and then
at least for a long time. And then he moved somewhere else and did it somewhere else, and now
the
he's back with the Horseshoe. Right?
Yeah, he's with the Horseshoe, but the Veteran Social Club, they really focus on fun things that are more just social activities.
They're
right?
fun events,
yeah, fun events. I think they have a softball team, and they do a couple of other things, but they're doing the big fundraiser with Monday's Dark or whatever it's called.
Okay, Monday's Dark is what it's called. It is Monday's Dark. The name comes from traditionally Broadway shows, and used to be shows in Vegas would not be going on Mondays. The stage would be dark, and now in Vegas we don't do that anymore because shows can't afford to not be selling tickets here.
Yeah, last night I got invited to Usher last minute and I couldn't go. I was hooked on that.
I bet Usher was disappointed.
He was probably up on stage watching the Mike Tyson fight.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
But yeah, so their Veteran Social Club is another one of those great organizations. We've all sort of unofficially home based over at the Leatherneck Club, and you can pretty much catch all of the different organizations in some way, shape, or form over there on Tuesdays. We've started office hours, which is just kind of an unofficial meetup. We need to turn that into a meetup group, like on meetup.com.
We need to make it a little more official
and get it to where it's bringing in some more people.
So since our good friend Ghost is not here to do it, tell us about the Leatherneck Club, and tell us about office hours, and tell us about some of the great ways Leatherneck Club has supported. They do great support for the veterans community in general, but I really want to dial in on what they've done for the veterans entrepreneur community for the last year or so.
Yeah, so the Leatherneck Club is it's a Marine Corps bar. It is open to the public. It's open to anyone, but it's become one of those bars that's what does he call it? It's a bucket list bar. So there's people that are in the military across all branches that know that if they're in Las Vegas, they need to stop by the Leatherneck Club. They've been very instrumental in helping some of the Marine Corps veteran organizations, like the Marine Corps League has a chapter that's based there. They've turned half of the facility into what's it called? Like a museum.
Yep.
Because so many people have donated all kinds of stuff from all the different eras of all the wars. There's all kinds of memorabilia. There's hundreds of challenge coins that have all been donated to the case. The unique experience for me is when I moved to Chinatown 3 years ago, everyone told me that I should find the Leatherneck Club, and I had no idea that it was right across the street from my house. So
and now you live 36 paces from it.
302 paces away.
My legs are longer than Dave's.
But I actually have really seen them be involved with so many organizations, not just here in Las Vegas, but especially for the veteran entrepreneur community. They've continued to consistently host events. Last year, after we finished Global Entrepreneurship Week, we jumped right into, there was a graduation for Bunker Labs that was there. That's where I got connected with the Lieutenant Governor's Office of Small Business. And that's just been a catalyst for everything that we've done throughout the year. But we hosted events for Freedom Week there at the Leatherneck Club. I know Frank with Warrior Rising, who's probably going to be on the show in a little bit.
He's probably going to be on a show in just a couple of minutes.
Oh, he's sitting right over there.
Yeah.
We see him.
He has not escaped my notice, but I wanted to get all the GEW vets in tech. I wanted to get the update out.
Yeah.
But it is kind of time. Enough about us.
Yeah.
And let's talk to another veteran.
Yeah.
About what he's got going on. He's going to talk about Warrior Rising.
Yeah, Warrior Rising and
his company,
business,
right?
Because
Which-
he's been slaying it lately.
Yeah,
It's been pretty remarkable.
If you'd be so kind,
Yep.
would you like to take the host chair?
I got you.
And you can interview Frank for a little while. I'm
love
going to
that.
go
Let me
line up a couple of things and see if we can get some more guests on
Perfect.
here.
Let me get just a little bit of water.
All right. So Dave is going to get a little bit of water. This is a great time for me to thank you all for watching. Encourage you to come on down to Tech Alley. We are in downtown Las Vegas at the corner of Charleston and Main. We are sitting in the restaurant at Taverna Costera. We've got a bunch of folks who are enjoying the food and drink here. And Taverna Costera, they are kind enough to be one of the primary sponsors for Tech Alley. Every month, they provide coffee, they provide water, they provide the space for us to do this, and they also provide a free lunch to everyone who comes down as a Tech Alley participant. So come on down to Tech Alley if you're interested in all aspects of tech, AI, crypto, NFTs, drones, software development, hardware prototyping, entrepreneurship, investing, anything involved with tech or the tech ecosystem or the entrepreneurial community. Come on down. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The best networking event in Las Vegas. If you've got a business or an organization that supports entrepreneurs of any kind, or tech of any kind, or veterans of any kind, come on down, meet the folks down here. I've been coming here almost every month for 3 years, and I have never left here without making a valuable connection to somebody while I've been here. So I'm going to turn over the host chair to Dave Berlin, and he will bring Frank up, and they will talk for a little while, and I will see you all in just a little bit. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.
Oh man, I love it. Oh, I brought my weapon of mass disruption too. Here, boom. I don't know how that shows up. And we're back. Let's see. It looked great. Yeah.
Great on the computer screen,
Wow.
but it looks much better. It looks much better from here.
Yeah, I thought it looked fine. Frank the man, have a seat.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present fellow Marine, of course, and my roommate.
Exactly.
It's always funny.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh my gosh, have you met Frank Manto?" And I'm like,
I get the same thing. Have you met
I
Dave
think-
Berlin?
Yeah, he sounds familiar. I think I had breakfast with him.
Exactly.
Frank, welcome to the podcast. Now, have you done one of these live ones before with us at Tech Alley?
First time here.
First time here. I couldn't remember because
Oh,
that was a
yeah.
while back. Because you've always got something going on.
Yeah.
And right now you've got stuff going on today as well. You're going to be on the panel to
Yes.
talk with as far as veterans in business. But dude, tell us about meal treats. Tell us about crayons ready to eat. Shameless plug. But tell us everything you got going on. You have to move up just a little bit.
Let me first say that I wouldn't be in Vegas after being on my road trip across the country journey to come here for a trade show. If it wasn't for you, Nick Martucci, Edgar, and a few others, that whenever I came to the Leatherneck Club and you all showed me what the veteran entrepreneur ecosystem was like here. I had no plans on landing here to Vegas. I had plans on still going to travel. But landing here in Vegas in February was a pivotal game changer, to be able to sit down and see what start applying a lot of things that I've known and I've learned. So let me put that out there real quick. All right.
It's been put.
Yeah. But as for me and once again, my name is Frank Manto. I'm the CEO of Meal Treats, and we take military items and we bring them into the food and beverage industry with other accessories. And we tell you the story, the history, and the joke behind each item we bring to market. Any of you, though, that know the military, we like to crack jokes on each other. Other branches can crack jokes on other branches, but civilians, not so much unless you've got a deep connection. And there's a joke that call us Marines crayon eaters.
It's true.
And I decided to figure out many years ago, is there truly an edible crayon? And there wasn't. So I reached out to a friend of mine, and she was able to be the brains behind creating the world's first colorable chocolate crayons called Crayons Ready to Eat, made of a high-quality Belgian white chocolate, 6 colors, nicknamed after branch of service. And that's where it all started. is to be able to tell that joke, because nobody really had a true definition of it. And that's when we decided to bring other products in to where we can tell the deep history of the military, the deep connections, and have the camaraderie like we have in the military to do so. Go ahead and open it up and give it a try. Show them that it works.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
Go ahead and open it up.
Oh,
and,
man.
And there's a little treat
Right here,
on,
live.
Yeah.
Live. Oh man.
So
Here we
there's a
go.
little treat on the inside. Make sure you pull the tray out. And we decided to do more, and we did challenge coins. We do apparel, but we launched a coffee line, and we tell you the history why coffee is a part of the military back to Civil War times. It's a box of individual pods. Am I okay to say the name on here of the coffee?
I would say no. Well,
Okay.
we can't bleep it out. And
Not a
we don't
problem.
want to get shut down.
Exactly. So I would just say it's called a cup of shut the F up. All right. And then we also have our 40 millimeter grenade salt and pepper shakers. But our crayons, we made them look different, simply for the simple fact that we did them triangle shaped. 1, you don't roll off the table and lose your food. 2, your hand goes a triangle. 3, it's easy to decipher for higher ranks to lower ranks, as well as parents to children. Ours are safe to eat. Don't eat the round ones. All right.
Don't eat the round ones unless
So-
you're a Marine.
Exactly.
Look at that. So sticking to the old fashioned, you've got the same kind of packaging as the meals ready to eat, and the tray that they come on is also a range card, right? So you can color on that, or you've got little coloring sheets here as well. Lance Corporal Crunch, but you could take this guy, and you can literally color with it for real, and then you can eat the delicious crayon.
Exactly.
Now, this is a little bit of a biased opinion because I eat these every day. But the chocolate, where does the chocolate come from?
It's a Belgian white chocolate, and they source it, of course, from Belgium. But it is manufactured out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
You already know that.
I already
We
know
took a
that
trip
one. I
back
was
there.
gonna say, I already know that one.
But so I remember, and it's been has it been a year now? It's been just right at a year that you've been here because
Mid-February, not even a year.
that's right. So it was, I remember it was cold outside. But yeah, it's interesting because in a short period of time, you've got plugged into a lot of the networks here, and you've made some really fascinating connections. Just not only in the overall ecosystem, but specifically in the Marine Corps world as well.
Yeah.
Through the Leatherneck Club, and then you've even met some cool celebrities in that world as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's been an amazing connection, with, of course, the Leatherneck Club being there, and a lot of the people that come in and come out of there. It's funny to realize that you have a company that people want to support, and I don't consider myself a celebrity. I don't consider myself somebody that, is somebody to know or
either.
somebody to get to be known. But it's funny how whenever, people find out that they knew about your product and they find out you're the guy that created it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a unique situation. And be able to, here soon, I will be on the Talk the Talk podcast with Rafterman. And if any of those Marines know who Rafterman is from Full Metal Jacket, that will be coming out in the near future. Still waiting on a date to make that happen. But we're going to be doing some work with Rafterman from Full Metal Jacket.
Very cool. Yeah. And that's Vegas be like that, right? It's amazing. Some of the remarkable people that are here. Of course, about all the celebrities. There's like Mark Wahlberg. He's opening some restaurants here. But I think this is such a connective community for that, because there's a lot of people that end up here. So it's been really cool to see you plug in, show up, and then you're even doing some stuff. Tell us about what you've got going on tonight, and then in just the next few weeks.
Well, tonight is the Marine Corps birthday ball for the Marine Corps League. So I will be at the Orlando celebrating the
New Orleans.
the New Orleans.
Yeah.
My bad. The New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
New Orleans, I think. I don't even know.
So I'll be there for the Marine Corps ball. But then I'm here most of the day for this and everything. But next week I will be out of town, and I will be in Salt Lake City, Utah, supporting a phenomenal organization that I am an advocate for. I'm an alumni of, as well as I am also a platoon leader that we're bringing a platoon here to Las Vegas called Warrior Rising.
Yeah. So tell us about Warrior Rising. What is that, and what do we have to look forward to with Warrior Rising coming here?
So Warrior Rising is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that takes what we learn in the military and teaches us how to apply it to our business through education, training, coaching, and mentorship. Through their Warrior Academy is your initial startup, where you have a 40 module course that you do at your own pace, and it's 100% free. From there, once you get into the sign up for the Warrior Academy, you go to warriorrising.org, click on Become a Vetrepreneur, sign up. You'll get access immediately, and then you'll get on our email list. That there will get you on the monthly coaching calls, and that will also get you on the monthly master classes. And those are happen the first Wednesday of the month and third Wednesday of the month, and they're typically in the evening times. And it's not every month because certain holidays and stuff they do take time off. And then what happens is you start getting into those coaching calls. You can get questions answered, master classes that are various through any aspects of business, all the way from operations to funding to having master classes like how to fill out the application and get a direct connection with Walmart and APs. They just did a filler classes that was 3 days long of talking about different types of getting capital and stuff like that. So it's a wide range of information and knowledge, and it's the whole concept, and you don't have to be biblical for this, but the whole concept of you teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Warrior Rising does, is you teach a person to be successful, give them the resources, give them the connections, and they'll be successful for their lifetime.
I love that. Well, you know that I'm absolutely obsessed and addicted to veteran entrepreneurship. Tell me a little bit about, because I've had a front row seat, being that we live in the same house. I've had a front row seat to what Warrior Rising is, but tell us how that changed your company and what the impact was on your company, and then a few other examples of some of the companies that you've helped through there that have either had a success story in what their product or service is.
Well, it says it's in a whole ordeal. So for me, when we launched our company out of San Diego, and of course we all know what happened in 2020, San Diego wasn't really forthcoming with information on how to keep a business operating, especially in the food industry.
No.
So it was, at that point, it was like do or die. It was like, what are we going to do to survive? What are we going to do to be able to take this to the next level to ensure that my vision can stay around? And that's when I decided to take it out of my home kitchen and take it into mass production. And then I started looking for, we did crowdfunding. I had my old employer, thank goodness for them, George and Kim Whitehead. They gave me a $10,000 loan, but I was still short the funding that I needed to get into that mass production, because we went through several places to find it. And we found, of course, our manufacturer in Tulsa. And we
Every time you say Tulsa, I'm what you want.
Go right ahead. So Glacier Chocolate stepped up and said yes. They wanted to be able to figure out what we did and move forward, and to get all of our molds, to get everything situated. I was literally a little bit around $10,000 short, and I didn't know where I was going to get that coming from. So Warrior Rising found me, reached out to me, and started talking to me about what they had to offer and everything. And I had been through several of the other incubators, and I'm not here to knock any of the other incubators. They have great information, have great resources. They just didn't have the curriculum. They didn't have the continuing support. And the founder of Warrior Rising actually reached out to me and got on a call with me, Jason Van Camp, and explained to me what Warrior Rising was and wanted to invite me to what is called their business shower, but I had to go through their processes. So going through Warrior Academy, and I'm going to say this as plain and simple, is it broke it down Barney style for me to understand what I needed.
So easy a Marine could do it.
Exactly. It broke it down so easy for me to understand that I could start implementing a lot of things to what I needed to operate a business. And it was a game changer. And then whenever I finished that, and they extended the official invite for me to go call it a business shower. It's similar to a baby shower, but it's for business owners and veteran entrepreneurs, their spouses, and their immediate children. And I got to be able to go there. I got a free MacBook laptop. I got access to tons of resources. I got assigned a mentor. I was able to then turn around and pitch my business to a pitch competition for a possibility chance to win $20,000.
Nice.
I had never pitched a business in my life. Never once, no clue, didn't know what I was doing. And I was winging it as I was going along. And literally, I got selected for the top 3, which I was surprised that I got there. And then I ended up going to the top 3 and came out basically in second place. You can't compete whenever a guy creates an e-learning platform for the blind compared to chocolate crayons.
Yeah, right.
You know, come on. But they graciously gave me a $10,000 grant.
That's great.
And that
That's
was the
great.
game changer. That was the pivotal point that we were not going to become a statistic of COVID.
Oh.
And we were able to take our product to nationwide shipping.
I love that. I love that. So that's and of course I know that story, and it's been fascinating to see because you were able to get started, you were able to get past that challenge before COVID. You then, you took off and you've drove all over the country. You've done you and I went on a little road trip earlier this year,
Yep.
and we hit the Chocolate and Coffee Festival over in Albuquerque. We drove to Tulsa, right? We hit all kinds of places, but now you're up, now you're running. Where can people find your products and get and show their support?
So they can easily go to Miltreats, and that's MILTREATS.com. You can find us on every social media platform at Miltreats, and just go there, support us. And if you can't, sharing is caring, and sharing is free. So drop it out there, get it to your followers, whatever you have, and we just want to be able to have that connection, that camaraderie that we're missing, because there's a lot of lack of information between the military and the civilian world.
I love that. So $10,000. I mean, at the end of the day, that's not a big, huge Happy Gilmore check, but that was enough to get you the products that you needed to get out on the street and just pound the pavement and make a dent. And now you're still here, you're still kicking. What are some of the other organizations that you've either helped introduce to Warrior Rising, or that have had some type of similar story where they've got the exposure that they needed?
So whenever I got within Warrior Rising, I ultimately saw the value, and I started volunteering my time. And that there gave me an opportunity to, utilize the leverage and let other veteran entrepreneurs into it. There's Kurt Ballish of Ballish Woodworks over in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He actually was able to go through the program and got to a a business shower, and he didn't get first place, but somebody in the audience with the on top of the money they raised, they were able to give him I think it was $20,000 for him because he does a phenomenal artisan woodworking. Go check him out, ballishwoodworks.com. Phenomenal ordeal. And the products he makes is just unbelievable, just amazing. Zach Husted from Pillars of Valor Coffee. He had the opportunity to go and become a part of the business shower. I was able to mentor him a little while. And then Laguerre's Workshop. He's out of Clarksville, Tennessee, and he makes phenomenal rings. And he actually made the ring that I'm wearing now. It is a blue ceramic ring that has a blood stripe down it, signifying the blood stripe for the Marine Corps Dress Blues, and it has sand in it from Iwo Jima. He actually did a ring for D-Day with sand from Omaha Beach and all that, and he's was able to go through and get to into the business shower and got second place at a business shower.
So he got a check too.
He got a check too.
Oh, I love it.
There's Teresa Black. I didn't introduce her, but she was at a pitch competition that I was volunteering at. She is another chocolatier that has taken the ability to give a non-dairy vegan style chocolate made out of dates called Bon Apple Sweets. And
Nice.
it's, there's Justin Clapsaddle. He was one of the original Warrior Rising. He does warfighter knives, warfighter metal. He takes metal from military vehicles and turns them into phenomenal knives.
Oh, very cool.
Here in Las Vegas, we have Mike Starr
Yeah.
from Blazing Star Barbecue that is
Yeah.
an alumni of Warrior Rising. We have
Delicious, by the way.
his barbecue sauce is amazing. We have Forgotten Not Gone has
Yeah,
been a part of
that's
Warrior
right.
Rising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there are three of us here in Las Vegas that have been through the Warrior Rising organization. And that's whenever I got here and the connections that I made and the type of person that I am. Dave has found this out, that you set me on a course, you set me on a path, you know, and in order for me to be able to grow my business, I need to connect with people.
Yeah.
I've made connections with the city of Las Vegas, with the Clark County, with the state of Nevada organizations and everything else to be able to find out what I need to do to bring my business here to Las Vegas, to Nevada, and being able to turn around and what can I do to support the community? Because Dave knows as well, some of those that know me directly, I'm all about sharing my knowledge and supporting it. So that was giving me the opportunity to bring Warrior Rising here to Las Vegas and have a platoon style setup that we're going to be able to do in person and allow National to do the online connections and be able to have the national business showers, but to bring it to an in-person setting and support from Nevada, from Las Vegas to Nevada, Las Vegas veteran entrepreneurs that goes back into the community.
Yep. And one way that we've done that is not just a weekly event, but also something that we're doing during Global Entrepreneurship Week. We've actually started. We have three really cool veteran organizations that work together. You know, in a lot of communities, there's things that don't necessarily work together the same way as they do in other communities. But essentially, we have every Tuesday from 2 to 4. I mentioned the Leatherneck Club earlier. We have an event that we call Office Hours.
Yep.
Office Hours. It's open to the public, but there's a lot of veteran entrepreneurs that we encourage to come and hang out. There's somebody from Bunker Labs, which is another veteran entrepreneur program. We got Frank from Warrior Rising. And then we have myself from Vets in Tech. We show up. Sometimes we talk business. Sometimes there's new people that are looking to make connections or, you know, looking to work through a business idea, plan, or model. Or sometimes we just hang out. There's great camaraderie.
Exactly.
But we do office hours every Tuesday from 2 to 4. We encourage people to shop local. It is a veteran-owned bar and grill, so they have delicious food, some of the best burgers in Las Vegas.
By far.
But on Tuesdays, it's Taco Tuesday, and Ghost and the kitchen crew over there, they mix it up every week, and they have a different taco feature,
Exactly.
and a taco special every Tuesday. So that's a great way if you're looking to plug in. If you want to connect with Frank, you can find him on warriorrising.org or at milltreats.com. And there's a great way to get plugged in.
Yeah, you also can go to frankmanteau.com. That's FRANKMANTEAU.com and be able to find and get a hold of me there. And I won't be there this Tuesday. Like I said, I will be traveling to Utah for a Warrior Rising business shower to be able to help out, support, volunteer, mentor the incoming pitch folks that are pitching, and be able to highlight my business at a booth. And you'll be follow me on social media, Frank Manteau, same way I spelled it. I'm on the social medias there, and I'll have the mini Jeep out there with me.
There you go. Well, Frank, thanks so much for coming on the show. I didn't realize you order food. I think your food's been sitting over there
It's
getting
all
cold
good.
this whole time.
It's not the end of the world.
Delicious food here at Taverna Costera in
I'm
the
a
heart of the
Marine.
Arts District.
I'll eat it anyway.
There it is. I love it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right, and we are back. Yes, we are here at the incredible downtown. We're live at Tech Alley, and for those of you that have not been to Tech Alley, it happens the third Saturday of every month, and we're at Taverna Costera. Taverna Costera has become like the little headquarters for Tech Alley every month. There's events that are going on in the theater next door. There's events that are going on in the NFT art gallery next door. And there's a series of events that are happening throughout the day. It's always the third Saturday, so you can check out more about Tech Alley. And then as far as Taverna Costera, you definitely want to come down, shop local, show your support, delicious food. They've got incredible beverages and stuff as well. So if you're interested in getting involved with Tech Alley, third Saturday, and we've got a handful of different people that we're going to be interviewing throughout the day, and it looks like we've got Jason coming on back.
What's up, homie?
What up?
I don't get to sit on this side of the table
right?
very often,
I
so
know.
I like this. This is a
We got
nice
some
view.
crayons here.
Oh, I've never
Frank
tried
loves
one.
them.
Can I
You
try
haven't?
one of these?
Absolutely.
Can I take a bite of one of these?
Do it. You got to color first, though.
Oh, do I? Okay. Well, let's
just to demonstrate that it actually works.
let's follow the rules. All right. So we've already colored that part there. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna color the boot here.
The boots.
Boots. I'm not a very good colorer, but I'm gonna color. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a little bite of this. I'm not gonna use the end I colored with though.
It is delicious.
Those are really good. That's my first. I've known about these for a year or two now.
Yeah.
And I've known Frank for probably a good 6 months. It's the first
Yep.
time I've ever had one. So
Yep.
I'm gonna get a little closer to the microphone here. I've already spilled on myself. I've already got chocolate all over my hands.
Right.
This is par for the course for my day. This is a regular. No, one is fine. This is a regular day of having trouble eating like a big boy for me. So Dave has seen me eat. He knows this. He knows this. Good interview with Frank.
Yeah. That guy's always got all kinds of stuff going on. It's been really interesting to see how fast he's plugged in here in the community, but that's Vegas.
It is Vegas. You can plug in really fast, or you can keep to yourself and keep your wheels spinning.
Yeah.
And that's that's the thing about Vegas is nobody's going to do it for you here.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, people will introduce you to people. People will, people are very, very kind. But I don't want to imply that that's not the case. But at the end of the day, everyone is a hustler in Vegas in the best possible sense.
Yeah.
And they're hustling, and they want to see, and they're, if you're willing to hustle, everyone's willing to help you out.
Yeah. No, it's been really fascinating. I always made the joke, I just celebrated 6 years here the first of this month. And when people ask what I do, I say a lot. And then I'd like go through like title by title by title. And then people are just like, oh my gosh, how long have you been here? And I always say like, I've only been here 3 months.
Like 3 months.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, most of the things you do, you started within 3 months of getting here.
Yeah.
You just
true.
had the persistence and the perseverance to stick with them and then add things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember when I first got here, I remember the first thing that I really saw as an opportunity to bring here was Bunker Labs. I had actually heard about Bunker Labs. I had heard about Bunker Labs in Oklahoma. And then as soon as I got here, one of the first people I met was like, hey, we're trying to bring Bunker Labs here. And with that, I was like, all right, let's do it. And it was that I moved here fall of 18. By summer of 19, we had it here.
It was here, yeah.
It was great.
It happened fast, yeah.
Yeah. So it's really fascinating. There's a lot of things that are happening here in Las Vegas, a lot of things that will be happening here in Las Vegas. And I think everyone's waiting on the tech boom. I think that's the next big domino to fall. What do you think?
Well, so I think a lot of people are waiting for the tech boom. I think a very small group are turning the flywheel to get the tech boom to happen.
Absolutely.
Right. And I say that with all honesty and all kindness. There are a lot of people waiting for something to happen here, right? I just talked about, if you're a hustler in Las Vegas, lots of good things will happen.
Yeah.
If you're sitting here waiting, you're going to be spinning your wheels. So
true.
Yes, the community's waiting for the tech boom, but there are people like you who are out there trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
People like Frank who are trying to make it happen. Yeah. We have a whole bunch of folks outside who are attending talks right now. We hope to get on here who are all doing their little part to make it happen for them and their business.
Yep.
But also for the larger community. That's the best part about Tech Alley, is that it's really about community. It's about that Silicon Valley thing, that Austin, Texas thing, that Boulder, Colorado thing, that Tulsa, Oklahoma thing of we all show up to the events, we get to know each other, we collaborate on projects, we hang out together socially, we do, and everyone's busy, don't get me wrong, but we all come support the events. Well, and we build community.
Yeah, you mentioned some great communities. Of course, I'm always a fan of Tulsa. I'll make it back whenever I can. But I've been really intentional about ways that we could build a bridge between here and Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of those ways is as if I wasn't already volunteering for enough things. I promise this is the last thing I'm volunteering for.
And let me, before Dave tells you about this, let me make a pitch to the entrepreneurs, the veterans, the powers that be in the Las Vegas area. Dave is very busy. Dave is taking on a lot of things. If something Dave is working on sounds really, really good to you and you'd like to be involved, let us know and step up, because Dave's doing a lot of really great things. Or if there's something you really want to bring to the community here, like step up and do it, and then come talk to us. We'll put you on here and we'll help promote you. But Dave can't do it all by himself. So if there's something you hear about today, whether it's something Dave's doing or one of the startup founders or one of the things that the community leaders who's talking to us today, let us know. Get involved.
Yeah.
We could use the help. We need the energy and the time to be put in to really bring these things to fruition.
Yeah. Well, Austin has a very special place in my heart. First of all, I love Texas. I spent many years in Dallas whenever I was in the wedding industry. But when I was with Bunker Labs, we were doing some training. We did some training down in Austin, Texas, and I had the opportunity to visit the Capital Factory. And when I found out that the guy who runs the Capital Factory was also the state coordinator for Global Entrepreneurship Week, but for the state of Texas, I got really interested. I went down a couple days early for the training, and that's when I first got exposed to Vets in Tech. I never would have known that I'd be part of that organization years later, but I remember coming back, and I remember telling Jason about Vets in Tech and seeing that there was an opportunity that we could bring yet another veteran entrepreneur program here to Las Vegas. So in a roundabout way, made those connections, and over time, Jason launched the chapter here.
Relaunched. We had a pretty active chapter before COVID.
We did. Relaunched
Credit
the
where
chapter.
credit's due to those folks who were running a really active
High five,
chapter
Lido.
before.
I miss you, Lido.
Yep.
No, it was really fascinating because then I got reintroduced to Ikram, who Ikram Mansouri is the COO, and now really good friend and also my boss because I'm part of the team at Vets in Tech.
Because
But
Dave is trying to do it all by himself. Come down to Tech Alley, downtown
Help
Las
him.
Vegas. Come help Dave.
him. But no, it was really fascinating because I saw what they were doing in Austin, Texas, and I also saw the power of the Capital Factory. So by getting Vets in Tech here, I think that was one major step. But then as I looked at other opportunities later, or I guess it was, when was it? Earlier this year. I don't even remember. I was doing some stuff for Global Entrepreneurship Network down in Puerto Rico. I ended up meeting some people from Philadelphia. Philadelphia loved what we did with all the Freedom Week stuff, and they want to duplicate that in Philadelphia next year. So I got really plugged into the ecosystem in Philadelphia. Well, somebody recommended me to be part of the advisory pitch board for South by Southwest, which South by Southwest, if you're not familiar, is a massive tech conference that happens every March in Austin, Texas. Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people show up throughout the whole week, and they just participate in big pitch competitions. I think there's a big film guild.
There's an entertainment component. There's a tech component. It's kind of like what we do with Tech Alley,
but on
steroids, but also with an entertainment component and a social component, and maybe our little things here will grow into something like that someday.
Well, but it was created with the design to change the economic path of Austin, Texas. So it's been something that's happened there for many years, and I saw the opportunity to be on the pitch board as a way to connect to that. So what happens as soon as we get out of Global Entrepreneurship Week, I've already been sent 100 decks that I'll be reviewing for people that have paid and submitted to pitch at South by Southwest. So as we're looking forward to see what that looks like, Jason's going to be helping me look at some of those decks and understand really what this could mean in the future for our community. And then I'll get to go to South by Southwest in March and represent Las Vegas from a national level.
Yeah, going to be exciting. Can't wait to hear
it'll
all
be
about
weird.
It.
Keep Austin weird.
Bring your phone and bring some microphones.
I'll bring the boombox
and do some live streaming for us.
We will do it.
In fact, I wonder. We'll have to look at the dates. I wonder if South by is happening at the same time as a Tech Alley, and we can pop you on live from South by while we're live from Tech Alley.
That would be
wicked
smart.
That would be a fun crossover event, wouldn't it?
Let's see.
If you like crossover events in your shows, that could be something fun we could do. So we'll take a look at what those dates are. But yeah, I think that would be. I don't know what the dates are.
March 17th. Oh wait, no. March 7th through the 15th. I don't think it will.
It might not, but you know, certainly,
It's all right.
certainly, if they don't cross over, you can come back and give us the report of all the amazing things and amazing people you met.
Oh my gosh,
Does
it
overlap?
will.
It will.
On that Saturday, it will. It absolutely will.
See, this is
It's
sometimes
history-
the old man gets one right every now and
future
then.
history in the making.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sometimes the old man gets one right every now and then.
Who else is in the lineup today?
I'm trying to get Caleb over here. I'm trying to get Josh in to come tell us about any updates with Tech Alley or anything like that. We are coming up on the end of the first round of talk, so we should have a nice stream of folks. I know Karma wants to come talk to us.
Karma's going to talk to us.
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
So
So it's funny that you mentioned updates, and I'm sure he'll elaborate a little bit more. But I had the honor and privilege once again. I got to attend the new Tech Alley, that's happening over in Henderson.
Because we couldn't. Well, we didn't do this from here because I was tied up. But.
Yeah, that was super cool. It was when was that? That was
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night over in Henderson. They've got a cool little thing going on at Atwell Suites. I remember as soon as I walked in, it got immediately really hot because it was so many people. There was like over 100 people in this great hotel, and it was fascinating because the mayor was there. The president of the Henderson Chamber was there. The news was there, so I got another little news segment.
I actually saw it on the news that night.
Yep, it was on the news, and it was like it was really cool because I told the mayor, I was like, we're gonna need a bigger boat, and it looks like we do have some.
Yeah, it looks like I'm betting. Well, it's probably not Kurt Stock. Kurt Stock is probably still going for another. You know, there's always so many questions. We'll try to get Kurt on here today to fill us in what he talked about because Kurt's always answering the question, "Who's got my money?"
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and
that's
everybody's gonna break for lunch soon too. As well.
Any minute now. So highlights of the event itself on Wednesday. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, I'll be really honest. I was only there for a few minutes because I had to jet to a podcast interview. I was there. I kind of felt like the mayor because the mayor got up and spoke, and then the chamber person got up and spoke. And then I got up and spoke, and then like me, the mayor, and the chamber person, we all like had to leave and immediately go to other
events. So Dave is not the best person to ask, but if you were there and you're coming down to Tech Alley today, come on down and tell us about your impressions of the Tech Alley Henderson event. I can't wait to go next month.
Yeah, I think it's great that it's on a different week and a different time.
Yep,
that'll help just keep that momentum, and then you've always got something that you're looking forward to.
So let's rock back to GEW for a little bit because we talked broad brushstrokes of GEW.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about there are lots of amazing events coming up. We talked about Bottega Exchange, who is graciously donating pretty much their facility for the entire week, among others.
Yeah.
And so there are 30-ish events coming up this week. Tell us about the events you're excited about going to this week.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to go to the GEWnevada.com. And look at the lineup of stuff that we've got here. GEWnevada.com.
So yeah, Dave's gonna give you the highlights, but we have some great folks from our entrepreneurial community who are giving of their time, giving of their knowledge, and going to host some really amazing events to share and help entrepreneurs build their businesses and build their networks and build the community here in the Vegas Valley, here in Southern Nevada, because it's really not even just about Vegas.
Yeah,
it's about the Vegas Valley, which includes Las Vegas, Clark County, it's Clark County, Henderson, North Las Vegas, but Mesquite.
There's even stuff going on in Reno.
Yeah. So it's when we say, like, when you live in Vegas and you say Vegas, we typically mean like all of Southern Nevada, right? We typically mean all of Clark County. So so we're certainly not excluding anybody, but I want to make sure we mention people from all over Southern Nevada, and we do have stuff going on in Northern Nevada this year as well. So I want to make sure we don't leave it out. It's really GEW Nevada is what we're focused on. Yeah,
100%. And it's there are a few really cool events. There's a guy that's coming in. I can't even remember where he's coming from. It's called Pitch Mayhem. They're actually doing one in Reno, and they're doing one here in Las Vegas. And then I believe that's going to be on Tuesday. And then we also have
Pitch Mayhem's going to be great.
We have some AI Digital Marketing Club meetups. We've got Tuesday Startup Vegas is going to be doing an event called Scale Up. It's over at WeWork. So that's an open opportunity to do some free co-working throughout the day.
That's a fun event.
In addition to the open co-working that's going to be going on at Bottega Exchange and the open co-working at Nevada Partners as well. So great opportunities to come out and get some free networking in there.
So if you want to do some networking and do some co-working and probably not get a lot of work done, but make a lot of great connections, you've got 3 places there you can go to, and Bottega Exchange and Nevada Partners are doing that every day, right?
Yeah, they are. And then we've also got Nadia and Lauren. I think they're going to come at some point, maybe today, and talk about the events that they've got going on. But they've got a mastermind group that's going to be going on over at Nevada Partners. That's called Empowering Entrepreneurs. That's speed networking. That's on the 20th. And then we also have, again, we have that Pitch Mayhem that's going to be happening as well. Shout out to Jeff the man here with Taverna Costera.
Jeff.
I bet we can get that guy on the show.
Hey Jeff, come here, take my seat.
Yeah.
I don't need to be sitting here. Let's thank Jeff. I want to make sure we thank Jeff appropriately for all the great support he and Taverna Costera have given us, because they've been the center of what's been happening at Tech Alley for 3 years. Primary sponsor with the food and the coffee and the water and everything. But let's have Dave talk to Jeff for a little bit, and then I'm going to get out of the way.
Can you
So
check in over there and see if they're open and see what.
See if lunch is open. Yeah, let me see if I can find-
At the NFT gallery.
oh yeah, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, just see if they see where we're gonna set up.
Oh,
for,
are we going to be over there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if we can find it. All right.
Jeff the man. Good to see you, my friend.
It's
Grab a seat.
it's a Global Entrepreneur Week pin.
Global Entrepreneur Week pin.
Nice.
He nailed it. Look at that. Welcome. I don't know if we've ever got to interview you, but I just saw you standing over there, and I was like, dude, tell us all about your incredible restaurant, all the things you got going on. There's stuff going on upstairs today. You've got events all around.
Yeah. So
Might have to-
So we're a multi-use project. It's a Taverna Costera. It's a restaurant. We got a coffee shop and a rooftop bar and a live event space. We run live music Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We run up to 13, 14 events per week. So just today, obviously we have Tech Alley going on today. And then we also have DJs on the roof. They'll be here all day. And then we have late night karaoke.
Nice.
So that's just tonight. And then tomorrow we have a brunch band. We have a band that plays there every Sunday for brunch. It's Jan and Gentlemen. And then we also have an open mic in the afternoon. And then in the evening on the roof, we have a reggae show.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
Yeah, so we got stuff going on here all day, every day. Tech Alley is my favorite event.
And how long have you been here? Because I know you've been separate. I know you've been supporting Tech Alley for the 3 years that it's been here.
Yeah.
But how long have you been open here as Taverna Costera?
So actually, we actually opened May 2021. So it was probably the month before we opened is actually when Josh Levitt and Elizabeth Lopez, who was with the City of Las Vegas at the time.
Shout out to Liz Lopez.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
My favorite. So they walked in here looking. They're planning out the Tech Alley event, and they're looking for a place to do it. And it's like, well, yeah, we weren't open yet, and that was one of the first things. It actually from the very beginning. Tech Alley's been here, so
It's been very synergistic. What's on the menu today for lunch? Do you know?
that's a good question. They change it every time.
They do.
So,
Yeah, it's been delicious every time as well. So, man, thanks for coming out. And if you guys want to shop local, that's one of my principles, one of my core values is to always support local. And I've been coming down here for quite some time. They've got great drinks. I don't drink, but they've even got, I think you guys got some mocktails too in the back.
mocktails.
Yep.
Speaking of, so we have an event called Soberly Social,
We do.
which features mocktails.
Yeah. Now, when is that? Is that it's one of the Saturdays?
Yeah, I
right?
don't know when the next one is.
Yeah.
But we've done it 3-4 times now. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You can come check out Birdie. She's around here somewhere. I saw her. No, man, thanks so much for all your support and everything you do in the community. We love it.
Yeah. Great jacket. Love the pin.
Thank you. Thank you. Ben the man. What's up, dude? We are. Come on. Come hang out. I think he's going to check out the setup that we're doing across the way. We've got, you might remember him from previous live podcast broadcasts, but it's not only is he ridiculously relentless about taking photos of me, taking photos of other people. Every photo that I have in our text message thread is him taking photos of me, taking photos of other people. It's hilarious. But Ben has stepped up in the world of Global Entrepreneurship Week as one of the community organizers for Henderson. But if you go to the lovely www.gewnevada.com, the site was constructed by yours truly, not yours truly, his truly. I don't even know how you say that, but Ben, Tell us about you and what you got going on, my friend.
Well, pleased to be here. Always a pleasure to be at Tech Alley, one of my favorite events of the month. We have, you might have mentioned it, Global Entrepreneur Week coming up next week, a series of couple dozen events around Las Vegas. Entrepreneurs, it's a great week for entrepreneurs to connect with others in the Valley that are building things. It's a great week to be inspired.
It is. And then you've got like 17 other sites that also connect the city and let people know about what's going on. Tell us about those.
Well, we operate a number of different community resources. Tech.Vegas is our technology and startup site. That is a free site that has all of the tech events in town, as well as a directory of local groups. We have Network.Vegas, which is a similar site for the business community. So all the conventions, chambers, associations together in one spot. Create.Vegas is our arts and culture site. And then our podcast is Connect.Vegas.
There you go. All of them. So I was way off on the 17.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, give me a few
As
months.
soon as we get to 11, what would be the next one? If you could just create the next one, what would it be, or what is it being?
We are in the process of launching ConventionSolutions.Vegas. This is a directory and calendar of conventions where all of the different service providers, the entertainment, the technical people, the logistics people can be featured in one spot. And if you're a convention exhibitor, organizer, attendee, you'll be able to find those locals in one easy place that you need to have a successful time at a convention.
I love that. I love that. What conventions do you go to?
I usually go to SEMA. Missed it this year. I was at IMEX, which was insanely amazing. Always CES. You know, I haven't been to Black Hat lately, but Black Hat's kind of a lot of fun. It's a fun crowd.
Yeah. That's the one where they like hack your phones and stuff, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Very cool.
yeah.
The let's see. I didn't make it to SEMA. I am excited about CES. That's kind of something that we're looking to anchor in at as vets in tech. But one of the things I keep sometimes very secret is the influence that I have in the world of pizza. So the World Pizza Expo, I am at every single day, every single night, all the after parties. We even hosted a big thing with Tao Group last year where it was like a whole party night.
I don't think people realize how large the world of pizza is.
The world of pizza is very large. It's a very large pizza.
Not as large as concrete, but it's
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, concrete's pretty big too, but man, I think it's like 15,000 people for Pizza Expo.
I mean,
But you also have Bar and Restaurant Expo that's going on right at the same time. And then the guy that I work with from Tulsa, he's gonna be speaking at both. So we're gonna be taking the Tesla loop under and speaking. He'll be speaking at Bar and Restaurant and then back under for Pizza Expo 3 times every day. We'll be back and forth. It's gonna be pretty insane.
all right.
J Rock, what's the good word over there, my friend?
I'm going to take over from you for a little
Cool.
while. I want to interview Caleb.
Cool.
I think we're going to get Bob Christopher from the Robotics.
Cool. Cool.
And then
So I'll go.
they are, I don't think they're open yet, but Josh is working on that. So
Cool.
I'm going to give you what you need.
Cool.
If Ben would fit in for just a couple minutes, I'll give you equipment orientation.
Love it.
And then we'll just go from there. And
Perfect.
You know, keep feeding us as you're over there. Keep feeding us folks to interview. And then
Love it.
The plan is to live stream the whole veterans panel.
Cool.
From here, starting at 1:15.
So that's right. The veterans panel, veterans
need-
and business panel will be going
I need
live
my
at
orders,
1:15.
my marching orders, sir.
Short term, after Dave's done talking, keep talking.
Freestyle.
And then,
What?
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah. Be like,
I'll interview Caleb.
you ever see that movie?
Christopher, and then we'll turn it over to you to interview whoever's kind of showing up.
Okay, so what
And then I will
time?
give you equipment orientation
All right.
before we go over there and go live.
So I stay here.
I just want to say that we could dress him up like Garth, and it would be absolutely hilarious.
Should have done that for the Halloween. Right?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that.
I think the audience would really love it.
All right. A little more on Global Entrepreneur Week. This is an international week where all around the globe during the same week, the week of the 17th of November. We have events. There is a Global Entrepreneur Week global calendar where you can search by city and you'll see hundreds of cities and thousands of events happening at the same time. Dave likes to say it's 10,000 events happening the same week across the globe. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, if you're interested in diversity, if you're interested in innovation, there's so much great material that gets covered, and it's all localized, which is really interesting. You're not learning about what's happening 3 states over or in the next country. You're learning what's happening in your own backyard. And we try and, on the Nevada site, which is gewnevada.com, on that site, we're trying to give special focus to the folks in this town especially, although across the state, but especially in Las Vegas, in the Valley, what's going on here. You'll see events in, let's see, Nevada Partners is a wonderful hub on the historic West Side where a lot of events are occurring. We have events in Henderson, in Vegas, the Innovation Center. You'll see live streaming coming from next week, and you'll see people talking about what they're building or what they're helping others to build. Vets in Tech is Dave's group that helps veterans transition and learn new skills. Here comes one of the usual suspects. Bob Christopher, the leader of the robotics meetup. Hey.
I'm actually on the camera.
I was going to move over so you could sit down.
Yep. I'm gonna
All right. I'm just getting our lineup set. I am filling time is the technical term for what I'm doing. I haven't gotten to the bad jokes yet, but you can bet it's coming. Yep. Do you want to come in and banter with me? Welcome to Bob Christopher. Bob runs the robotics meetup in town. Bob, can you talk about your group and what you all are doing?
Yeah, so we're the Las Vegas Robotics Meetup. We're about 100 and something members, actually 200 members now. We are building the community of people that are building robots. That's kind of building community that builds robots. And that includes also like hardware devices, like sensors or, even consumer devices. So anything that's physically hardware is really our jam, our community.
And I attended a little bit of your stuff, and I was very impressed to see the mix of young people and professionals in the industry. That was exciting for me. That really gives people exposure to the industry.
Yeah, the young people are the energy. They've got the ideas, and there's some amazing. I came from California in Silicon Valley, so I'm used to being around a bunch of robot people. But I'm really actually pretty impressed with the community here because there's a lot of really gifted high school robot kids. Really, and quite capable of, creating innovation. So we've seen some really cool innovation at the high school level. Of course, we also work with UNLV, right, and College of Southern Nevada. So there's some really great things happening at UNLV right now in robotics. But since we're kind of like a small community compared to, let's say, other cities, we really have to kind of build up the opportunities, right? We need to start kind of creating more startups here. And that's what I really want to do, is help people have ideas. They want to build something. We should be able to help them. And that's really the kind of the spirit of our community.
If you were to look out into the future and what your vision were to come true, what would that look like in Las Vegas?
Well, I think we'd actually have some point a venture fund here that could invest in these kind of companies. That's definitely something we need to have. But I like this to be 1,000+ members. I like this to have monthly meetings, and I'd like to have dozens of startup companies. And really, to kind of make that work, we're going to have investors here because, like Silicon Valley, why do people go there? Well, because there's a lot of VCs there, a lot of investors there. And we need the same thing here. I mean, not to say we're Silicon Valley, but we need to have investor pools here. So we're doing some things to create interest with investors. There's a lot of Sand Hill Road VC people that have homes here that live in Las Vegas. It's like their second house. So it's like, well, why don't you guys just maybe set up a shop here? You know, why don't you just not just vacation on the weekends, but why don't you actually do some investing locally? So I'd love to see that happen. But short of that, we're actually talking to a bunch of people that are building venture funds right now, and we want them to be here. So that's going to be interesting. But you know, that brings talent. So entrepreneurs chase the money. Any startup guy or woman is going to always chase the money. That's why we have to have the money here as much as we can. But you know, we need to have some really great people here start stuff, and it all comes from example. So there's a company right now in our community that's about to close a very large seed round, and it'll go public in the next couple of months. But it's a big deal, and they have a chance to build $1 billion valuation based upon what they're doing. And if that goes through, they will set a precedent for this community of what does a successful robot company look like? What do you do? How do you raise that kind of capital? So we want to be able to have examples of that. And also there's some really cool startups here in town. And, you know, I'm pretty bullish on them. I think they're going to do well, but like any startup company, Ben, you need lots of help. You need a community. You need engineers. You need designers. You need you know, people that can market and help you sell your product. So it's important to build that fabric.
I know you've worked in robotics for many years. What was it that first turned you on to that, or made you want to devote your time and career in that way?
That's kind of an interesting question, Ben, because you know I started years ago in Oakland, California, and I met this guy who was the inventor of the Furby. Remember the Furby?
I kind of do.
Lots of Furbies out there. Lots of people don't like him, but he was the inventor of this, and he created this really crazy technology that can make robots move like people. And so I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. Let's make something with this. And so we got together and we created the company, raised, a lot of money for it. Took a while, but raised lots of money, and produced a product. It was called Pleo. Pleo is a robot. And so to this day, we've sold over 2.2 or 2.3 million Pleos around the world. It's the second highest selling robot next to the Roomba vacuum cleaner. But that's, you know, this is a while ago. They're still selling Pleos around the world. But then I got into other robot, you know, startup companies, and I helped people, you know, build their robots. And then I eventually went to Panasonic, and I started building robots for them. And then they wanted me to head up innovation, so I started heading up innovation for them. Did a lot of things, including robots. And then, yeah, so I've been active in the robot world for quite some time. It's just my role has changed in some capacity.
Well, you started. Well, I don't think I've heard a founder story that references something like the Furby as inspiration, but that's kind of remarkable on its own. So you went and you started in consumer,
Yeah.
and then was Panasonic like an industrial application?
Yes.
Is it very different building in those two use cases?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Between my robot Pleo, I started a company called AnyBots with Trevor Blackwell. And Trevor is the co-founder of Y Combinator. So our company was literally located in Y Combinator for over a year. So I met every single person you can imagine at YC. But we built these robots that were telepresence robots, where you could be You could be somewhere remotely, so the robot's kind of like your avatar, and it can see people, you can see them, and you could talk to them. So that was we launched that with Google and NASA and some really interesting customers, and that was more of an enterprise type of robot. Panasonic was much more industrial, much more warehouse, logistics. We did some point of sale robots as well, and
Behind you guys for a minute. Keep
and
going.
the thing
Don't let
about
me.
the thing about Panasonic that's interesting is the Japanese love their robots.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll find if you could find a way to do something with the robot in Japan, they're all over it. Like they just it's like catnip for them.
That's a cultural.
It's kind of a cultural thing, yeah.
Okay.
It's such a big deal over there. They just love automation. They love machines, and they're fascinated with robots. I mean, there's a lot of Japanese anime that references robots, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I did that for a number of years. I worked at Mitsubishi as well, and then got back in the robot thing. So I've been helping a handful of robot companies, and yeah, it's been fun.
And what made you choose Las Vegas? Was that a personal thing, or was that something about our market or our town?
My wife is in the destination management business.
It's a good town to be in for that
Yeah.
for that business.
So she's had it for a number of years, and so we decided to move down here because of her business. And I'm a California guy, so I'm new to Nevada. So I've been here 4+ years now. But it's a cool place. I really like it.
What is it that you've enjoyed doing personally around the valley?
Well, I mean, besides Robots Meetup, I'm launching a new podcast with my co-host Darius. It's going to be called Robot Hustle. It's right here on my shirt.
Wow, what a coincidence! Your shirt.
So we're going to be launching that as a kind of a fun. We're going to be interviewing man on the street or people on the street about robots. We actually did some great interviews on Fremont Street a couple weeks ago. Beyond that, I'm building a company right now. It's actually a battery company, and so it's in grid storage batteries, so kind of the big stuff that you use behind the building kind of battery. And it's a very big market opportunity. So energy storage is becoming a very white hot space. There's a correlation to robotics because robots use batteries, but no, this is it's gonna be a fun project. So
What would you tell someone that's thinking about where should they locate a business and they're considering Las Vegas?
I think I'm getting still to know this town, but Henderson is a great place to be. Lots of expansion in Henderson. I understand North Las Vegas is also a big, a lot of warehouses out there and so on. As a robot company, I like what I call is Robot Alley, which is just off Sunset Boulevard, right next to the airport. Spencer, I'm trying to think of the other town, name of this, Paradise. Those streets over there are chock full of robot companies. And so it's becoming its own little ecosystem. So if I was a robot startup, I would look to kind of be in that direction. Now, having said that, I'm an advisor to a company called Circuit Launch, which is a robot accelerator out of the Bay Area. And they're looking to open an accelerator here in Las Vegas. So I was just with them, and we're visiting with Tyler Williams, downtown Las Vegas, looking at properties. And they think they found a couple of properties there. And what they would do is, if they do that, they would set up a maker space, basically a location where you could build robots and build prototypes. And that's what this town is missing right now, is a maker space. There's not really good resources for building things here. So if they come here, it'd be fantastic, because now we would have a place where people could actually build robots. So they'll make that decision by January timeframe. I'm an advisor to them, so I'm kind of in the loop on what they're doing. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. If that happens, then we'll have the foundation for kind of I think what's needed for the whole robot community is how do you get your hands dirty and build stuff, right? So it's hard to just do it on yourself in your garage. You don't have all the equipment. It's expensive. So we were kind of hoping, and we're still trying to hoping that some of the local universities and facilities that have actual equipment would be open to allowing people to come in and use them on a part-time basis. But we're still, there's a chance that might happen. But other than that, we need a makerspace, essentially.
And then are the companies building here, if you could generalize, are they building a Vegas use case, or are they robotics? They're Vegas based. Are they automating? Like Vegas famously has been characterized as a place where a lot of jobs could be automated, and I assume robotics would play a big role in that. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so automation is kind of interesting. There's automation on a factory line, which everyone kind of knows about. But then there's automation that's out of the factory line, which is automating like serving your food at a restaurant, or making food in a kitchen, or restocking a shelf in a retail center. There's all sorts of things that can happen. And so, I mean, this town is full of opportunities for automation. The issue is, as I understand it, is nothing against them, but the unions are pretty strong here. And so if you start automating key jobs in this town that could be union jobs, that's going to be an issue. So we have to find a way for robots to cohabitate with union workers without getting in the way of their job. So it's going to have to happen. I mean, because robots are going to be everywhere at some point. So we have to figure out a way to integrate the two together.
Well, that's been a point of contention in a lot of the union negotiations across industries.
Yeah.
From shipping to people in television and film, and it's sometimes it's talked about as AI, sometimes it's the mechanical side of things.
Yeah.
But the rub between, I love the automation until it takes my job.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas it should
Yes.
create, over the longer term, it's going to create change the way we work.
I did a big project in Japan for Mitsubishi. They wanted me to help them automate their factories. So I went and visited 15 factories in Japan, and we ended up automating one of the factories. And the issue they have there is all of their Japanese workers that are old are aging out of these really important jobs, and the younger people don't want to train and take those jobs anymore. So now they're stuck, and they have to get a robot to do that job. So we made a robot that would automate a certain job function on a production line, which was the very first time Mitsubishi had ever done that. I didn't realize it until we accomplished it. And I had Stanford Research Institute as my partner. They were really helping me build the robot.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a success. And they were like, it's funny because we had these 3 old 68 to 70-year-old kind of men, 3 Japanese men who could only do this one job. Nobody else could do it. And they were showing it. They're trying to show us how the job is done. And where they're showing us, they literally messed up the job. Like they messed it up twice, probably because of nerves. They're like being watched. But it's kind of funny. And so we're like, okay, this is a challenging job. And we had to replicate it, and we eventually got it right. And our robot does it perfectly every single time now. But so automation is interesting. You can replace people if you need to. It's going to be expensive, but you can. I look at it more as robots working in collaboration with people. So a cobot. So somebody like a sous chef that's preparing, dicing the onions or something, and the chef is doing the job. But you have like a robot assistant. And I think there's going to be a lot of that. And I think there's actually a big opportunity for people to have their own robot assistants at some point, either taking care of their kids or their house or working with them at their job. But there's going to be a lot of that. When these humanoid robots become much more prolific and capable, you're going to see a lot of people adopting, working with them. And Elon Musk predicts that his Optimus robot business model is going to be infinitely larger than his Tesla business, because he thinks that's people are going to be buying hundreds of millions of robots out there. So, and that's why I think for us in this community here, it's like, get ready. Robot revolution is already happening. let's jump in. Let's kind of be part of that because it's going to it's going to happen faster than we can imagine.
Well, I'm getting the signal from the
Okay.
boss that I need to start wrapping it up, but I want to
Okay.
make sure we come back to your meetup. Do you
Yes.
have the next meetup scheduled right now?
It's going to be early December. I think I'm just going to. It's the second week of December. I forgot the dates on that. I will publish it this weekend. And thank you for reminding me, Ben. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's going to be over here, probably over at Palolu, which is just over next to the airport. So it's going to be great. We have some really good speakers coming in.
And what is that
It's-
company that you're referring to?
Palolu is a robot company. They make robot parts and kits, and you buy kits from them to make your robot. So it's kind of like a Radio Shack on steroids, is Palolu.
That's
And they've
amazing.
been here for 10 plus years and doing well. So yeah, that's Palolu. And our next event is based on food and service robots. So we'll be featuring some cool robots in that space. So yeah. Anyway,
Very cool.
thanks, Ben. Good
Thank
talking
you
to
very much.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
as well.
Look forward to your next meetup. Can you tell Nyla where we are? Because I told her the roof, and that turned out to be a fib. You can come in and sit down.
Okay. I don't think she was going to be joining us.
I don't think so either, but I'd hate for her to go look for us on the
Oh.
roof. Not pranking Nyla wasn't on my list for today. And since we're live, I should probably keep talking.
Yeah,
This is-
see, that's so I saw Ben here. He got the best signal. Just to be clear, I saw the young Mr. Leduc say, "Wrap it up," and then he wandered off, and I was like, "Well, I can't just leave Ben here." So
Yeah.
Ben, how has your day been going?
It's going very well. November in Las Vegas is an absolutely beautiful time of year.
It's perfect.
It really is.
July is not. August is not.
Oh, I kind of like those months too.
Oof,
But
oof. What do you like most about 110-degree heat?
I like being outside and I like feeling the heat on my skin, the sun on my skin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's one thing I don't like about here. I'm very pro Vegas, but I do not like the heat. I'm from the frigid north. I grew up shoveling 3 feet of snow at a time. Desert life, man. It's an adjustment.
Well, let's back up and act like we're starting properly.
Okay, well, and I see the captain's on his way.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get kicked out of the seat.
Oh, we're getting kicked out. I'm kicking myself out. This is a great event, though. A lot of people here. All right, Mr. Leduc, we've got you ready.
All right.
We have a
me see
great
if I can
looking
climb out
attorney
of this.
coming here, guys. His name's Caleb Green. He's awesome. Absolutely fantastic guy. You guys are lucky.
Yeah, is that all right?
I think we've got everything. Yeah, I think we've got the tech set up. So I just need to give you the orientation on switching over, but it's perfectly fine. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm back. I know you've gotten to know Ben a little bit. You've gotten to know Dave a little bit. We've gotten to know a lot of people today. The next person we're going to get to know, come on down, have a seat. Next person we're going to get to know is Caleb Green. He is an attorney, and I'm going to let him tell you all about what he's doing down at Tech Alley and how he's helping founders and investors and entrepreneurs with their businesses. So, Caleb, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Tell us all about what you have going on here at Tech Alley and in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an attorney, licensed here in Nevada, and I volunteer my time. I host what's called a Startup Attorney's Corner. And basically I open office hours to come and ask questions to an attorney about, you have questions about how to start a business, everything from intellectual property law to business formation. I'm here to kind of direct and be a resource to people.
Okay, awesome. What is the number one question you get from folks who come and talk to you during your sessions here?
Oh man, I get a lot. One of the ones, there's two I get a lot of. One is, should I start an LLC? Should I start an S corp corporation? Or I get a lot of questions about patents and how to go about that process. And so I mean, the answers to both is it kind of depends on what kind of business you want. LLCs have their benefits, tax wise, as well as flexibility. Corporations or partnerships also have their benefits. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. That's why we have a myriad of different ways to form a business and an entity. That's probably the most common one that I get.
What are some of the reasons a new entrepreneur who's starting their first business might want to hold off on that LLC or that S corp or that C corp as they're starting their business?
Yeah, it especially for corporations, S corp, C corps, there's a lot of taxes involved, and you may not be at a stage in your business to actually be ready to pay that and take on that financial burden. Same thing with LLCs. You may be at a position where you may just need to build the business. You may just have an initial idea that you want to build and improve that there's a concept there, improve a business. You may need to fall down, make changes, make further decisions as far as the product, the business. And so in where you file may also be something that you may end up wanting to change. You may want to bring on investors in the future, and they may want a certain setup as far as the business formation. So there's a lot of different reasons why people may want to caution and pump the brakes and maybe just operate as a sole proprietor before actually going about filing and investing that time and money.
Yeah, we're in Nevada, so if you're watching from somewhere that's not Nevada, your results may vary on this.
Yeah.
But Nevada actually has a lot of leeway for people who are just starting a business where from a business licensing and a tax perspective, you can kind of just get started without getting really complex on your legal structure. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's called sole proprietorship, and to your point, it is different state to state. But in Nevada, it's pretty fair for you to, if you want to operate, if you want to sell T-shirts or things of that nature, right? There's not a lot of red tape, if you will, that the state of Nevada is going to put in your way. Although there are considerations that you want to take into account. However, in other states, you may have those. You may need to register as a sole proprietor. So it is different. It varies state by state. And that's the kind of information I try to give people.
Do you know off the top of your head what the thresholds are for officially registering as a sole proprietor in Nevada?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's an answer I could certainly find out, but I don't have them off the.
That's your homework.
Readily.
That's your homework for next month. We're going to bring you back.
Absolutely.
But, point being, one, no matter where you are, your results may vary. Two, depending on where you are, depending on the climate and how much they are supportive of starting businesses, which we are very supportive of here in Nevada.
Absolutely.
You may not need to get as complex as you think you need to do. I know when I started my business in Nevada, I was still stationed in the Air Force in Alabama, and I thought I had to do all of these things to be legit and legal as a good Air Force officer would. Yeah. And I got here and people were like, nah, you didn't need to do that. So, hindsight 2020, but learn from my experience that do your research and check out your locality may be really, really flexible because they want to help people start businesses like we do in Nevada.
Absolutely.
So we talked about the number one, and the reason is traction, right? We talked earlier with some of the guests about traction. Nevada really wants to help you get that traction before you get official with stuff. Love it.
Absolutely.
So we talked about the number one question you get. What's the number one question that you think these new entrepreneurs should be asking you?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say, so my main practice is intellectual property. And what I don't hear is, I hear a lot of, I have this idea, how do I get a patent? Or I have this name, how do I get a trademark on it? And I think the question people need to ask is, first, is this something that's subject to patentability or can actually have trademark protection? Those are the questions I often find out. I have to, when I have conversations with business owners, I kind of have to ask them those questions. I wish those were ones that they came and asked first, because it makes a world of a difference. Sometimes, you may have a mark, a name of a business, you may have an idea that may not be patentable, may not have trademark protection. And I oftentimes find small business owners and startups who have already gone about trying to file on their own, et cetera. And unfortunately, they're in a position where now they may have wasted that capital and money. And more importantly, that time that it took USPTO to review and deny.
Well, and the time you spent filling out your applications, you could have been out working on your product market fit and making sales.
Absolutely, exactly, and that's my biggest point. especially when it comes to patents. Like, you may make changes to it. What you actually file early stage as a patent, if you haven't actually reduced that to practice, even if you do get a patent, it may look vastly different than actual product that you have at the market. And now you have a really a patent that really doesn't have a lot of economic value. So taking those steps and kind of pumping the brakes at the beginning to say, okay, is this something I should file? Are there other ways for me to protect this? Think about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, the formula for Coca-Cola has never been patented, but they use like trade secret protection.
Trade secrets, and,
Yep.
and only one dude knows the whole
Yes,
formula. It's all in
absolutely.
pieces. It's just like when we did classified information in the military.
Yep.
Nobody has the whole. Very few people have
Absolutely.
the whole picture. So quick and dirty, because I know there's a lot of misunderstanding about
Yeah.
this. Even in my role, mentoring entrepreneurs, mentoring founders, and talking to other business owners, what makes something patentable? What makes it protectable?
Sure.
In the grand scheme of things, kind of broad brush strokes.
Yeah, absolutely. So generally, when you have a utility patent, is typically like something that's useful. So that's one. It has to be useful. Two, it has to be non-obvious, meaning it just can't be some simple improvement off of something something else that exists. You're just making a minor modification. And then lastly, it has to be novel, meaning it has to be new. And this goes back to one of the things I wish people knew. Especially small business startups, they always want to go to, pitch, because, you're trying to get funding, and as you should. But sometimes that novelty is really important. Your own product, if it's been disclosed for more than a year, can foreclose you from getting patent protection. That's what can be considered what we call prior art. And in that scenario, it will absolve you or prevent you from actually filing your own application for your exact product if it's been out there disclosed for more than 1 year.
So something to keep in mind, right? That novel thing is what gets a lot of
Yep.
people, right? Is
Yep.
or that non-obvious part
Yeah.
is what gets a lot of people. And it doesn't mean you don't have a good product. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
you don't have a good business. It just means it's not patentable.
Absolutely.
And so you're going to want to protect your IP a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's myriad of other ways. Copyright protection, we mentioned trade secret. So even if patent is not necessarily the way, because I know it sounds great. We watch Shark Tank. We're like, I want to get my hands on a patent. Even if you can't get a patent, and I also say one more thing: patents are only as good as you can enforce them. If you can't get to court, if you don't have the capital to go and stop somebody in court and to from actually using and infringing on your patent, then that's also something to keep in mind. But there are other ways to layer your IP and protect your ideas.
Yeah. Quick and dirty. What are some of those? Like
Yeah,
you talked about
sure.
copyright protection, like
Yeah.
as whether, we all get some, even just by doing what we do and posting stuff on the internet and
Yeah.
creating websites, we all get a little bit of copyright protection, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so copyright protection, it protects creative works that are created by human beings. So whether you're a photographer, the moment you snap a photo, there's what we call common law copyright protection. If you're a software developer and you develop software code, the moment you type that in on your computer, that you have what we call common law protection. Now you can register those rights, and that gets you to federal court. Someone infringes, you can go to court and sue and stop them. But you do immediately have what we call common law copyright protection. It's very, very powerful, and it's something I encourage people to look at because it's a lot less costly to file for a copyright registration than it is a patent or even a trademark registration. It's much, and in many cases, I've even had many of my own clients file their own copyright applications. It's made to be a much more simpler process.
Right.
Whereas if you want to get a patent or a trademark, you may need an attorney to kind of guide you along the way.
Right. So you talked about if you want to enforce a patent, if you want to enforce a trademark, you've got to be able to enforce it, right?
Yeah.
That comes with another piece. You've got to be paying attention.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
with your own
Absolutely.
self-copyrighted stuff,
Yeah.
you've got to be paying attention to what's going on. So you never, as an entrepreneur, you never stop doing your market research. You never stop looking at who's out there that you're competing with.
Yeah.
And if they're using your stuff,
Yeah.
you want to know about that, right?
And that's imperative, especially in the context of trademarks. Trademarks are you use it or you lose it. There's a lot of marks out there that we now commonly use. They've come subject to what we call genericide, meaning we no longer attribute them as a source identifier. Think about escalator, aspirin, for example. Those used to be actual brands. We didn't call all moving stairs escalators. That was a specific brand of escalators. But now you go to the airport, you go to casino on the strip. What do they call them? They call them all escalators. And that happens when you fail to enforce your trademark rights and other people start to use them. Trademark is at its core, it's about consumer protection. It's about distinguishing goods and services in the marketplace. So where you fail to actually enforce, that's a particular area where you may be susceptible to actually losing your rights by failing to, as you said, continuing to do your work as an entrepreneur.
And the courts don't have a lot of tolerance for that.
No, they do not.
So, I had one more IP question, and I'm blanking on it now. So we're not gonna worry about it.
No, it's
So
all
tell
good.
everybody where they can find you,
Yeah.
and your best piece of advice for the founders and entrepreneurs out there as getting their business started.
Absolutely. So you can find me. I work at Dickinson Wright. My email address is cgreen, that's C as in cat, green like the color, at Dickinson-Wright, that's DICKINSON-WRIGHT.com. My office number is 702-550-4417. Feel free to reach out. And for just in terms of, just think about, do your due diligence before starting a business. And I can leave it one thing: if you don't take anything away, there's no such thing as a provisional patent. There's only non-provisional patent applications. A provisional patent application is just a placeholder. You hear that oftentimes on Shark Tank and other things. Oh, I have a patent, I have a provisional application. It's a 1-year marker. The non-provisional patent application is actually what can mature into an actual patent.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining
Absolutely.
us today. I've been
Thank
wanting
you
to
for
do this
having me.
conversation with you for months now.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do it. We'll have to get you on my other podcast at
Absolutely.
some point for a little more in-depth interview. But thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having
Enjoy
me.
the rest of Tech Alley. I hope we'll see you over at the Veterans Panel at 1:15.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right. Have a great day,
All right,
Caleb.
have a good one.
Thanks. You can bring it. Well, yeah. We're on the internet. Who cares? Honestly, if somebody brought me a beer, I'd be drinking it. So I make that offer every month when I'm sitting on this stream, and nobody ever brings me one. So
I need to watch more.
yeah. Well, thank you, Caleb. All right. No, he's been in line here for like an hour.
That's all right.
It's okay. You guys are next.
I won't be long.
So,
Hey,
Mike, right?
yeah, Jason.
Mike, tell us all about you, what you're into, what brings you to Tech Alley today.
So I've been to Tech Alley for the last 2 years off and on, but I'm here to talk about one of my side projects. I am a traveler, a nerd. I've been retired for a couple of years, and I have an app that I'm writing called Tripperist.
Okay.
So if you like to take road trips like me,
I do.
and you're driving down the road, it's to get rid of your FOMO. So you're driving down the road and you see like a historical marker sign and goes, hey, should I go check it out or not? And so this app is going to help you do that.
This is the app I have been looking for my entire
so
life when I take road trips.
I don't know. I wasn't really prepared, but the app is called Tripperist. So
Okay.
let me get it back over.
So it is TRIPPERIST.
Yeah.
And it's in both the Apple Store and the Google Store.
So no, it's only right now it's in internal testing. I'm looking for testers to help me with
Okay.
the Android version.
Android. All right, I can't help
I
you.
know,
When
I
you're
know.
when you're ready to test on Apple, I'm your
Well,
guy.
if Apple, makes it easy for developers and without a lot of money, I'm signing up for
Yep,
it. But anyways, it's coming.
Not something I can help you with.
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely. So as you can see, and I apologize, but it's going to tell you what's nearby. So here, there's a thing called Old Betsy,
Okay.
and it's actually the first generator in Las Vegas.
Oh, it's right over there.
It's right over there,
Yeah.
just down the street. So imagine now you're driving down the road. This is going to show you what's coming up. And it's like, oh, should I stop or not? Now this is going to tell you that. And so you can also explore around. And then I like to take road trips. I take a road trip every 6 months. I like to go to the Mississippi Delta. I'm a big blues fan. So there's some curated trips.
Okay.
And so if you like to take road trips and you say, hey, I want to go on Route 66 or whatever your interest might be, this app will help you plan it.
All right, so you got locations in general in the app, and then you've got some like curated tours that people can do as well.
Exactly. So every historical marker in the United States is in the app. You don't need
You have the old
internet.
state line in Nevada.
I'm sure I do.
Okay. Not many people know about that. The state didn't used to go this far
Yeah,
down south.
Yeah,
So
I'll have to check afterwards. So I'm looking. If you go out to tripperist.com, you can down towards the bottom. There's how to get signed up for it. It's simple. You just need to send me an email.
Okay.
At tripperista, so tripperist with an A.
with an A.
At gmail.com. and I'll get you. What I'll need is your Android account, and I'll get you set on the internal list. And I'd love feedback on that. So that's really why I'm here. Looking really for feedback on the app.
Okay.
I mean, I'm great. I'm my primary user. I probably got about 15 to
You
20
you
people.
love it. I can't even use it, and I already love
you
it.
know
so.
what? So we'll work on the once I get some better feedback on the Android app.
I love
There's
it.
also a Windows version, but it's not really mobile. But it helps you with your planning. So if you would like to, anybody out there would like to sign up for it, just send an email to tripperista@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about the app, go to tripperist.com.
Love it.
Okay.
What's the next trip you're going to take?
I am probably going to do Route 66 from Tulsa up to Chicago.
Okay.
So I've done from Amarillo to Tulsa, and I'm kind of doing a segment at a time. And I'll always fill in more.
It's a lot to do all at once.
It is. And I only go about less than 200 miles a day.
Yeah.
I like to stop at everything. And so not only are historical markers in this, but weird ass crap that I find.
Well, you got to stop at
is
all.
in there.
You got to stop at all the places in the song.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right,
that's it.
great. Well, it's great to meet you, Mike.
Yeah,
Good
Jason,
luck.
thank you.
Tell everybody one more time where they can reach you.
Yeah.
And what are you looking for? Who are you looking to connect with? All that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So you can, you can reach me at Mike Lore on Twitter and Instagram. And also tripperist.com, tripperista@gmail.com. And I would really love anybody with an Android app, go ahead and send me an email. Go out to the website. Tells you how to get signed up.
All right, great. Well, we have lost our video while you were saying all that,
no.
but the audio's going strong. So I'm gonna jump up here and try to fix the camera. We're gonna get Ben to come in and continue hosting. And thank you for joining us today. Let me get this camera straightened out. I don't know what happened here.
It's probably all the demand.
It might be.
Hey, Ben, would you jump on?
No, we gotta do it together. I'll just be right here in the center, you guys. You should sit. No, I like standing. Trust me, I like standing. There's a lot of crayon situations here.
Have you had an edible crayon? They're very good.
I haven't eaten one, but I've used one.
we saw one. We did not eat it.
No, we didn't eat it yet.
you know,
but
They are delicious.
they look
Okay.
delicious.
Yeah,
Hi.
Sounds cool.
because they call Marines crayon eaters.
Yes,
so he
they
made
do,
that into a thing.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
gave him some insight on AI stuff. So how are we gonna do this? Because there's only one chair.
Yeah, have a seat.
I think we both were. I mean, we're
No,
two
sit.
people. Are you sure?
I could stand
Okay.
between you guys, my buddies.
I don't want to make Lauren.
So keep talking. The audio's going out.
All right,
Okay.
welcome back. As if we had a break, a commercial break.
Right? I know.
I'm
We
Ben
need some
Lavsky.
sponsors.
We did
And,
not. Yeah.
I am here with the professionals behind Alter New Media.
I think the
So-
battery is going out, so I don't know if we're even really live right now.
Oh, then we're pretending.
Are we live?
Are we live or are we pretending?
Okay. I thought so.
All right.
Well,
It's just the
okay,
magic
so
of
the
camera
video
with
is
Tony.
coming back, guys. Welcome to the joy of technology.
Yes.
Clearly, the world needs to see our faces.
I think that's
Clearly.
obvious, and that's why we're like quasi stalling
Yes.
on the conversation right now.
I just can't work in
But-
these conditions,
No, like I actually am about to put my foot down,
right?
but
My
At the same-
contract states that clearly
Oh,
Video.
I am
You
to
can
be
see
on
us here,
4K
okay.
HD at all
Look, you can
times.
see us there.
And you are. Do you see
So you see how you look.
I do.
we do. That's why we're like
video?
we have all the things.
We have all
right.
the things.
We have all the things.
You got Ben, and well, let's do this for about 10 minutes or so.
All right.
And then what I will do, I just need to get the
Hi.
rotation, switch it over to the other panel, and but go ahead.
All right.
let's do
That
it.
was my extensive industry training from Jason Leduc. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
fair,
the
Yeah.
training.
All I know about
All right. Let's get back to
Okay.
meeting Nadia and Lauren.
Let's
Yes,
do it.
Thank you.
All right, let's meet us.
Let's meet
All
us.
right.
What's your burning question, if any?
Well, let's start with the basics and introduce yourselves and your company.
Okay. I am Nadia Rousseau. I'm the
I'm
founder.
Lauren.
Jones. Remember?
Jones. Yeah.
So, random sidebar. We met someone that was like, never introduce yourself with just your first name. Always do first and last because you want people to remember you,
That
right?
was Marla Tejas.
Was that Marla Tejas?
Los Angeles.
That was
Fox
Marla
LA,
Tejas. Hi, Marla. If you're
who
watching
told,
this, we love
who
you.
said that Maya Angelou told her that.
That's
to say that.
correct.
Yeah.
Lauren, your memory is on
My
point.
memory's on point. Has to be.
I need to up my omega 3s, evidently, but I
No.
digress. So, we are the founders of Alter New Media, a purpose driven marketing and PR company serving mission driven and disruptive companies worldwide. We like to work with people who want to shake things up in the world with their product or service or make a difference in the world with their product and service. And we are broadcasting live, as we all know, from the fabulous Tech Alley here in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, just a few days ahead of Global Entrepreneurship Week Nevada, kicking off on November 18th. Back to you, Ben.
That was very professional, and I'm a little intimidated. Let's stick with you guys for a second. I was at an event once, and Lauren and I introduced ourselves to someone. I described what my company does, and her response was, "Well, we do all of that and more." So
not.
it was like we do that plus one.
I
You know?
mean, we didn't explicitly say anything like that.
But I would like for you to tell everyone what it is you do.
Thank you.
All right, Lauren, take it away.
What is the plus
So
one?
we help mission-driven and disruptive companies all over the world with their products and services. We do publicity, PR, marketing, media, influencer marketing, a whole gamut of different online and offline services related to marketing and PR. So that's us in a nutshell. Nadia, do you have anything to add to that?
Sure. So, as I noted earlier, we support, and as Lauren just mentioned, mission driven and disruptive companies with achieving their goals while making a difference in the world. We stand by the ethos that purpose and profit should never be mutually exclusive. So, we inject impact in just about everything that we do, most notably through our purposeful partnership ecosystem, whereby we partner influencers with nonprofits in both short term and long term campaigns. To achieve this, we have an in-house influencer talent board. So we do also do influencer talent management. We work with Emmy-winning red carpet hosts, models, actors, entertainers, trailblazers, anyone that actually really who has the root of the word influencer like at the forefront of what they do. So we're looking for people who truly want to bring influence and impact with their platforms on that end.
From both coasts and worldwide.
Yes. You got that. Got that right.
My radio voice, too.
Your radio voice.
All right. And we've been working on the Global Entrepreneurship Week committee now for over a year. This is our second.
This is our second GEW together.
Yes. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Should we like add an anniversary event into the calendar? My phone is dying, but yes.
Let me see.
My name at Ben Lavsky.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was available. All right. Let's get back to GEW. So
Yes.
GEW is coming up next week, and you all are hosting a number of events in addition to serving on the committee.
Yeah.
Can you talk about these events?
Yes, I would love to. I'll bring up the calendar. So Monday, November 18th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the Global Entrepreneurship Week kickoff event that's happening at Bottega Exchange. There will be panels, co-working, and networking all day.
I see you're using your notes. This is an open book test.
Well, I'm looking at the calendar. If you go to gewnevada.com, there's a calendar that you can look at that will show you like everything that's happening all throughout the entire week. You want to talk more about transformative CEOs, Nadia?
Sure. Well, first of all, I would be remiss not to mention Bottega Exchange, our primary venue partner for this year's GEW. Bottega Exchange is an incredible co-working space in Southwest Las Vegas. So we absolutely love the whole Bottega team. Shout out to Kelly Heather, Jared, Layden for holding down the fort and for extending the space to the GEW this year. We are particularly excited to be leading a 2-day mastermind taking place on the 19th at Bottega Exchange and on the 20th at Nevada Partners in North Las Vegas. And so, as we noted, we really like to work with mission-driven entrepreneurs. So the focus here is on transformation from the inside out, with the goal to be more visible through understanding yourself more and through understanding that public relations really starts with you and having a clear perception of yourself. So we're going to be workshopping our approach to visibility all day on the 19th at Bottega Exchange. And then on the 20th, we're going to head out to Nevada Partners to mentor up and coming entrepreneurs in a flash mentoring type of style, also pulling in Promise Startups, who Promise Startups is an initiative through Nevada Partners. So we're really excited about that. And then we also have a panel on influencers and hospitality next Sunday, along with a few other great events on calendar for next Sunday, in particular, like Karma Hunter's AI and content marketing event. And then we have some other events. So you guys have got to check out the calendars. There's so much going on, right? GEWnevada.com. You can look at the whole calendar.
Yes, some highlighted events that I think will be really amazing. On November 19th, there's also a March Madness meets Shark Tank type style pitch. It's called Pitch Mayhem Las Vegas, happening at Blackfire Innovation. That's something that's highlighted.
And the winner of that goes on to a final at Reno at a separate companion event. So that's pretty exciting.
That's right.
That is very exciting. Wow. Also, another event that really stands out to me is the Women Decision Makers Breakfast, happening at Via Brazil on November 19th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then a couple of other events that really stand out to me. Let's see, with my little cheat sheet here. The 5 leadership skills every entrepreneur must have by Jason Leduc
The
of
one and
Leadership
only.
Consultants. Who's
Come
helping
on.
us live stream right now. And that's also happening at Bottega Exchange.
Should
from
we
10 a.m.
mention
to
how
12.
on the 18th, we are doing the full kickoff event?
I mentioned that.
Did you?
Yes, I did, but go ahead and talk more about it.
Well, guys, I would suggest coming on the 18th just because it'll give you a clear overview of a lot of the folks who have been involved in GW, as well as just a higher level overview of what's to come that week. But, you know, if you can go run around the city and avoid all of the F1 craziness, which will be more crazy towards the end of next week, I would say, we really encourage you to do that.
Then I have a couple more events that really stand out to me. On November the 24th, Perfect Your Pitch with Ali Lopez. That way you'll be able to learn how to correctly deploy your pitches when you're trying to seek funding. That's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Bottega. And then Karma Hunter, who's a branding and marketing expert, she's going to come on in just a moment here. She has Leverage AI for Content Creation. It's a hybrid event happening at Bottega Exchange and also online. So please register for that. The cost is only $49.99. She's giving a really great sale for people attending GW, so please try to attend that. And finally, another event that stands out to me is the Power of Influencers in Hospitality, Building a Thriving Ecosystem, happening from 4 to 8 p.m. at Bottega Exchange, Sunday, November 24th.
And I had mentioned all of those as well.
Okay, well, there's an overlap and a reiteration of all the events and just
the master of repetition.
The master of
You
repetition.
have to, you guys, we can, say it again and again. You probably will still forget. So make sure you go to the calendar.
Yes.
And lock it in.
Tell us one more time we can find out.
It's GEWnevada.com. You can also find GEW Nevada on Instagram. If you have any questions, feel free to DM on Instagram and one of us will get back to you.
Tell us where we can find you ladies.
You can find us at Nadia Rousseau, NADYAROUSSEAU, and Alter New Media at Alter New Media. And Miss Lauren, where can they find you?
It's Oracle 01010 _. So that's like Oracle, like the oracles of Delphi in ancient Greece. and binary code. No, not like the company,
But specifically that.
but specifically the Delphiad or like the psychics and stuff in the ancient Greek tales and stuff. Whenever I come up to the mic, I feel like I'm about to sing like a big band ballad for some reason. I don't know why.
Next month, that's going to happen.
Okay.
It's Christmas time.
Pick the song, we'll pay for the rest.
Okay.
I'll get Josh to pay for it.
Sounds like a plan.
All
Anything
right.
else to wrap us up? And
I think that's great.
do you have any events on calendar? Like,
We have.
you have some stuff going on too, right? You got to shout it out.
All right. Well, my company is Hunter Marketing, which is hunter.marketing. And then you can also, on a non-GEW week, you can find all the events in town on tech.vegas and network.vegas. And those are our calendars that we operate for the city. If you have an event, they're free to join, free to list your events. And we'd love to hear from you if you have suggestions or questions. All right.
Thank you. This is my last Andrew Sisters moment. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Woogie woogie beagle boy.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, it's a boomer reference. Boomers
It's the
know what I'm
sisters.
talking about.
I was like,
Three sisters who
Shout out to
sang
the
during
boomers.
World War II.
oh.
Yeah.
I think you'd recognize them if you saw them.
Great job.
All right. And coming up, I'm pleased as she comes in to get settled. So this is a hunter-themed discussion.
Just regular. Thank you.
All right, a hunter-themed discussion. Of course, I'm with my company is Hunter Marketing, but I'm interviewing Karma Hunter.
Hi.
So, Karma, please introduce yourself and talk about what you do.
Hi, my name is Karma Hunter. I'm the owner of Karma DNA, AI marketing automation agency. We're a digital marketing agency. We help you automate your lead generation and book appointments in your sleep.
That's wonderful. And I don't want to get too far down the road. You've got an event coming up. I want to let you make sure that you highlight that event. Talk about that, please.
Yes, so on Sunday, 24th of November at 1 p.m. at Bottega Exchange, we're going to have leveraging AI for your content creation. So we're going to touch up on AI for content creation. We're going to create content, a whole year worth of content, and we're going to set up a AI marketing agent during the workshop. And it is about 70% discounted for Global Entrepreneurship Week. So please take advantage of it. There are limited seats, and there's going to be lots of deliverables. And we're going to actually create content tailored to your business during the workshop. So you're going to take away a whole entire year's worth of content.
All right. And can you generalize about what type of brands or creators are typically going to be the best people to be in that room? Who should be in that room with you?
Basically, any small business owners, product or service based, can join this event. Even if you're a beginner, even if you're not techie, and you want to create content that is content that actually generate leads and that sells, not only for brand awareness, but for lead generation and for conversion.
And you're going to show people how to use these brand new tools. Like, we all know that we need to kind of learn these tools. We know that they're important, but maybe you don't know where to start or what to do. You're going to kind of take people through a process.
Exactly. So typically we know about these AI tools, some of these tools, but we don't know how to effectively use them. So I'm going to show strategies for you to actually effectively use these tools and tailor them to your business and make them work for you.
What are some of the things you see that where people are trying to use these tools, but maybe they just don't know exactly the right strategy? Are you seeing people kind of having trouble?
Yeah, so there are two things, right? Some of us are still hesitant to use the AI. And there are some of us are using AI, but in very generic ways. And also, we are depending too much on AI sometimes. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be using it in specific ways. And we're going to see if we should actually really depend on it or if we should just use it to streamline our processes.
And how did you get to this point where you're comfortable and knowledgeable and you're ready to pass along knowledge? Like, what was your path with this technology that got you to this point?
So I am a tech and marketing nerd, and I love different tools. And when AI started, I jumped on it really fast, and I became a prompt engineer. And then I started looking into different strategies. As a marketing strategist, it was very important for me to start utilizing these tools and learn them myself. So I started educating myself, and I became very proficient in that, and I started teaching AI. And yeah, I'm now utilizing these tools for my business, and I'm teaching them to my clients and helping them utilize it.
What would you say? I'll make this the last question. How do you, a lot of people make content with the various tools, and it's kind of generic. Yes, they make the content, they post something, but it doesn't really catch the real person or brand. Can you speak to that a moment?
Yes, actually, this is one of the most important things we're going to be touching up on during the workshop. So we have lots of business owners telling us that, hey, I post content, but I still don't get clients, I still don't get sales, right? And because posting random content doesn't really work. And a lot of times there's a misconception that, hey, now we have AI and let AI create our content and post it. But still, that is random content. And that doesn't work. We have to have a structure, we have to have a system. And we're going to talk about what that structure looks like and what those strategies are in order to make that content work.
All right. Well, let's, I've been given the signal to wrap. One more time, maybe take us to what is the date and time of your event and where do people find it listed?
Sure. You can go to karmadna.com/GEW. Also, you will find it on the Global Entrepreneurship Calendar. It's on 24th of November on Sunday at 1 p.m. at Bottega Exchange.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I look forward to a very successful event.
Thank you so much.
All right. Jason's coming in.
My thanks to Karma for joining us and appreciate. I know it was kind of short, but we'll get her back next month and we'll find out all about how that event went. So what we're going to do is we're getting ready to kick it over to the veterans panel. And so, Ben, what you're going to want to do is you're going to add this to the stage.
Okay.
So you see we're both up now. You see the panel's waiting for us. I don't know if Dave Berlin can hear us. Dave Berlin, if you can hear us, let us know you're ready for us. All right. So I can't. Oh, you know why? Because he's muted. Unmute Mike. Can't unmute because they chose to mute themselves. All right.
Do you guys know when we're going to be talking
Today? I don't know anything about
that. Okay, he woke up. Send him a picture of him.
We're good. We are good. We are good.
My,
is it unlocked? All right. So
We're
David,
solid.
Can you give us some words? All right. Here's what I'm going to do. So you see how we're both on stage right now? What you're going to want to do, I'm going to go over there.
We're good.
If you can hear us, you're just going to pull.
Why don't you just switch it over to them because I can't do this.
We're good.
There's a little delay. That's what. Yeah.
We're solid.
Yes, we've got words. All the tech.
We're good.
All right, we are live here from Tech Alley. Welcome to the Vets in Tech panel discussion. We're going to talk about some veterans in business. My name is Dave Berlin, and we are live at the Journey Gallery right next to Taverna Costera. It is the third Saturday of the month, which means this is Tech Alley. And this is a great opportunity. If you've not been to Tech Alley, you may have heard it on the live podcast broadcast all day, but there's some phenomenal speakers going on. There's some great workshops. There's incredible tech meetups. I think there's even a drone meetup happening across the way. So all kinds of cool stuff going on here. They just had lunch. Taverna Costera did an incredible sponsorship for a great lunch. And now we're going to talk about some veterans in business. It has been absolutely remarkable to see the veteran entrepreneur ecosystem evolve in the 6 years that I've been here. I remember as soon as I first moved here, one of the first people I met was looking at bringing bunker labs here to the community, and we were able to do that all the way back in 2019. Since that time, there's been more organizations come, including Vets in Tech. We've got Frank from Warrior Rising that's going to be talking a little bit about what they're doing, and it's been really incredible to see everyone show up today, and these are all friends from for the past couple of years, and I just wanted to have more of a general discussion, not necessarily Vets in Tech, but some of the things that everyone's excited about, some of the challenges that they see, not just in their business, but in the ecosystem of the Las Vegas Valley as well. And we'll have some random curveball questions as well, some math for Frank. But no, just kidding. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead. I've introduced myself. I'm going to pass the metaphorical mic down the way. And if you would, please introduce yourself, who you're with, and what you do.
My name is Frank Manteau. I'm CEO of Mill Treats and platoon leader for Warrior Rising Las Vegas.
Hi, my name is Jessica Vargas, and I'm CEO for Jess V. I am an artist, an advocate, and a veteran.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monifa Keynes, and I'm the founder and CEO of Queen of Spades. And I help people add on to their personal style by creating and designing beautiful clothes and jewelry.
Hi, I'm Jason LeDuc. I'm the founder, CEO, and leadership strategist from Jason LeDuc Leadership Consultants. I help teach all the great leadership lessons we learned coming up in the military, bring those out to the civilian world. I'm also the Las Vegas chapter lead for Vets in Tech.
My name is Brandon Mills. I'm the owner and CEO of Total Promotion Company, where we produce merchandise, apparel, promotional products, any kind of physical branding for any type of organization.
So the funniest thing about that, I introduced myself as the host for today. None of us said what branch of service we were in. So it's so funny because like one person didn't do it, the next person didn't do it, next person didn't do it. I'm Dave Berlin. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm the state coordinator for Global Entrepreneurship Week, and I'm the program manager for entrepreneurship with Vets in Tech. Marine Corps veteran.
Marine Corps veteran.
The one and only, the few, the proud, the Marines. Hoorah.
United States Air Force veteran.
Also an Air Force veteran and big proponent of joint operations.
I'm Army vet. I'm the only one here.
Love it, love it. So, here's a question for everybody. As you, we're all in different types of businesses, but what is it that encouraged you to grow your business here in Las Vegas?
For me, it was transitioning from California and seeing the ecosystem that's here, the resources, the large community of veteran entrepreneurship that is enticing me to be able to move my company here.
For me, it was having freedom. Getting control of my life by creating my business. I was able to control my time and spend it the way I wanted to spend it for something that I love doing.
I love that.
I will tag on to that, mental freedom. But what I loved about starting my business here in Las Vegas is at the time when I moved back 2 years ago, there was Bunker Labs, and I walked into a community of veterans that want to see each other win and wanted to be a part of it because we help each other succeed.
I wish I could say it was so lofty as everybody else's, but for me, what it came down to is I was stationed here in the Air Force about 20 years ago, and when I was retiring in 2015, I still had my house here. And so it was for very practical reasons to move back to my house here and move to a place with 350 days of blue sky every year. So, but in the years I've been here, I've learned about the amazing entrepreneur community we have here, the amazing veterans community we have here, and I will never be anywhere else.
For me, it was coming home. I grew up out here, left after high school, was gone for about 20 years. Always considered Las Vegas to be my home though, because that's where my parents, my brothers, and my immediate family were always at. It was after I left the oil field in Texas that I realized that I didn't want to sell my time anymore. I wanted to buy other people's time. I had sold enough of my own hours to know that wasn't going to get me anywhere that I wanted to be, and I was more after freedom than I was money. With money comes freedom, but where I was at the time, I was making plenty of money, but it was a grind, and it wasn't where I wanted to be. So I thought, you know what, let me figure out how to make it work here in Las Vegas, and I did exactly that. So I mean, I could go deeper into it, or
No,
let you go. So
that's great.
yeah. So for me, it was looking for opportunity, and I acquired my business at the end of December 2019. So next year will be 5 years that I've been in business, and you know, when you go all in financially on something, you know, you're taking a massive risk, and timing is never good. It's 3 months later, lockdowns happen. And I thought, oh great, everything that I've ever built is going to be, just vanishing. But through the veteran community, the incredible support that I received from my brothers and sisters that I served alongside with while I was in, and just being able to be supported within a community of like-minded people has really elevated myself and my business, and it's allowed us to thrive in this environment. And I'm incredibly grateful for Las Vegas community, the Las Vegas veteran community, which has just been so beneficial to everything that I've done and incredibly supportive.
Love that. And Brandon, you've got a birthday party coming up to celebrate 5 years in business. Will you tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah, December 19th. That's our 5-year anniversary. It's also going to be a Vegas Chamber ribbon cutting. I joined the President's Club of the Vegas Chamber, and then it's also our holiday party because it's the week before Christmas. And so we've got some pretty cool surprises. We're going to have some catering. I've got a world famous DJ coming that's going to be mixing some holiday songs.
Nice.
And it's going to be a really fun event, and it's to honor my customers, my vendors, my community support groups. Everybody's invited, and I'm really looking forward to having an event that kind of puts us front and center, and especially leading up to Christmas, where everybody's kind of winding down. It's going to be more about having fun and community than anything.
I love it. Very cool. So we're going to mix it up a little bit because we've got a few different businesses here. Some are very product-based and some are very service-based. So I'm going to throw a curveball out for the product-based. So that's going to be for Frank, Monifa, and Brandon. From a product-based standpoint, what are some of the challenges that you see in your business coming up in the next year to come?
For me, it's basically product development, introducing new products because we bring military items, stories, jokes, and histories into the food and beverage industry. And it's finding the opportunities of different items that we can bring into, as well as funding, of course, on anything. Whenever you have a product base, especially like with me in the food and beverage industry, you have to develop the product. You have to get the mold, you have to do the R&D and all this to get that first product launched out there to be able to get things situated. But most importantly, the fact that, we deal with cacao and chocolate, we have seen an influx in the increase in pricing. March or April last year, cacao prices went up 231%, and they just went up another 50%. And not knowing, yeah, the crayons right there, not knowing, where the next increase is going to go in, that we have to raise our pricing. And is that going to create an issue for us financially to where we have to raise our prices? We already done that, and a matter of just getting people's names, getting our products out there so people know who we are and what we're doing to overcome that challenge. And we made the world's first colorful chocolate crayon.
It is true. And Jessica, that'll be $47. I'm just kidding. It's 53.
I'm actually been promoted to an affiliate.
There you go.
So, because Marines like to eat crayons.
That's true.
So,
That's
yeah,
true.
and they're really good.
Yeah, they are delicious.
Come on, Marie.
Thank you. Monifa, if you'll tell us about your products and the challenges that you see in the next year.
Well, again, I make clothes and jewelry. Some challenges I have is to grow with my loyal customer base, but also obtain new customers. I watch the trends, the colors, see what's going on for my customer base and keeping up with them so I have return customers. Also, I deal with buying material and metals and plastics, and I'm looking at fair trade. Wherever I go and source my materials for, I want to make sure it's ethical, people are treated well, so I only deal with those types of companies so that I know whatever you put on your body that you bought from me, you can feel good that nobody has been mistreated and the materials that I'm dealing with have been ethically sourced. I also think about growth, not just from the customer base, but moving from clothing and inserting some technology into the clothing. So I keep leveling up all the time, but that's my next challenge coming up.
Sorry, I posed for a selfie. Brandon.
For the challenges coming up over the next year, a lot of it may be very policy driven in that our president-elect Donald Trump has mentioned that he wants to impose tariffs on imports. A lot of our products and consumables come from China, come from a lot of places all around the world. We produce as much as we can here, but a lot of the things that aren't even produced in the U.S. are things that we have to source in order to produce the products here in my shop. And so, if an 80% tariff is imposed on China, there's a good chunk of our products that are going to double in price, and it goes to the end consumer, which is going to be very difficult, especially when things are becoming more difficult in the economy, for people to be able to purchase from us. And it's not that we're making any more money. It's just that the cost of those goods are that much more. And I understand, the argument behind, to create so that U.S. manufacturing can come back here, but the problem is that infrastructure has not been developed yet, and it's going to take a lot of time. So if they're able to get these insane tariffs implemented, it's going to cause pricing to just go out of control, which is going to be really sad because a lot of our customers, are going to have to limit on what they do purchase, or if they can purchase anything at all at that point. And so I'm really hoping that that we can find workarounds with that. But the way I see it is just pricing is going to go up. I mean, inflation is already kind of going out of control, and it takes a while to throttle that back as well. And you can get really deep into the reasons behind inflation. The main one being monetary supply expansion, in that the money that has been created over the last half decade is now really hitting the streets, and when there's more money and not more goods, prices rise. It's just the nature of economics, and it could be an issue. we roll with the punches, especially as veterans. You know, problems arise and you deal with it when it comes.
Adapt and overcome.
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
And you find different ways to do things. You know, and we've had to do that already. You know, over the last half decade, and when you are able to adapt and overcome, that gives you a competitive advantage to those people that can't do it.
Brandon, I have a question for you. Are
Sure.
the tariffs specifically for China? What about Mexico? Because from my understanding, I've been going to Mexico a lot. I have roots there inland. I have heard that during COVID, when shutdown happened, Mexico realized that they couldn't rely on other countries anymore, so they started producing in Mexico, and their economy has been rising. This is what I've been told by the people of Mexico. I'm not sure how to cite sources like that, but
Yeah.
will those tariffs be imposed
So
on Mexico goods
There
also?
there will be international tariffs.
Yes.
China is been the focal point for Trump though. So China will be separate from the rest and will have even more tariffs on Chinese imports, which is nobody wins in a trade war. It's only losers. You don't have any winners in a trade war. And I really hope that we don't have to realize that the hard way. But it's you know, politicians say a lot of things to get elected, and a lot
Yes.
of people have a lot of ignorance when it comes to economics and economic policy. So we'll see what happens.
Brandon, how can the community, especially the veteran community, because you know our saying, we got your back.
Yep.
How can we help you in your business or any of you guys that are product based?
I would say, you know, for me, because we import our cacao and you can't grow cacao here in the States, it's mostly in the rainforest and everything else. In situations like that, you know, like there's a company called Origin, they've done a clothing line and they brought manufacturing back here to the United States. It's a matter of, you know, like Brandon said, you know, do we build that infrastructure back up? But the bottom line is we had that infrastructure. They let it collapse. And it's a matter of rebuilding it back up and reopening up those manufacturing facilities and being able to, willingness to learn what it takes to make the products here in the United States. But the other problem that we are in now, and this is not a stab at the younger generation, it's just they don't have the willingness to work and learn and be able to put the work in that, you know, we grew up in my era, we grew up in that you learned various different tasks and various different jobs that we're relying on our generations to build that infrastructure.
I think we have to look back too as to why a lot of manufacturing collapsed in the U.S. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of regulatory burdens, taxes, a lot of reasons that make it very difficult to do business in the U.S. It's so much easier to do business outside where you're not going to have a lot of these artificially imposed, you know, restrictions that add to the cost of whatever you're trying to produce. You know, it's in regulation can become out of control, especially when you get politicians that are creating regulations on behalf of larger companies that make it to where they are the ones that are the benefactors of those regulations.
You know, the one last thing I want to touch on this topic is, you know, I grew up in the area back in Ohio where there were steel mills and coal mines. And in the you know, mid 90s, late 90s, they were, because of the EPA and because of, you know, all these other regulations, they were closing down the mines, they were closing down the steel mills. And then that, because there was open up a lot of opportunities to import things in to get it at a cheaper rate. So it's just a matter of, you know, we need to force our, you know, whoever, you know, we have as our representatives to push to be able to cut those regulations back to make things easier for us to manufacture here.
We're still the second largest manufacturing country in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's lost on a lot of people in that we still produce a lot of the world's products, but that's slipping away quickly.
Yep.
And a lot of that has to do with policy.
Yep.
Brandon, you bring up a good point. I do work with manufacturing companies here, but because I'm a small business, I cannot order 5,000 pieces of one thing that I created.
Yep,
And the
I ran
less
into
I
that one.
order, the more it costs. So I also want to ask manufacturing companies to work with the small businesses, because as I grow, you will grow too, and then we can grow together. But helping to have less quantities will really help generate small businesses to come into fruition.
So in my business, we've really focused on doing smaller quantities. The print-on-demand industry is growing leaps and bounds with the way culturally people want to have, readily accessible items, completely customized as fast as they can. This immediate gratification culture that we exist in now. It's impossible for a lot of companies to be able to produce something of low quantity, but utilizing technology. In my company, we were the first to bring in new printing technology that allowed us to do this and to do one-off pieces with multiple colors, with an infinite number of colors, at a reasonable cost and in a quick turnaround time. So technology is going to help drive that. I think it's going to allow people that are doing smaller orders and smaller runs of production to be able to have that at a reasonable cost. And then, so for instance, with the technology that we're using, we wholesale out to my competitors, which I call them co-competitors, because I don't really have competitors anymore, because we all do something a little different. And with the technology that we're using, they're able to take care of their customers using that same technology. And so I think that technological advancements is going to allow to solve that issue.
Not right. I see,
It's
but
working towards it.
I'm talking about dresses, skirts, hats,
sure.
everything, so that I create. And
Right.
so when I send out my designs to be manufactured, I'm not ordering 1,000 pieces.
A lot of that is though too is setup costs are so expensive.
Yes.
So doing smaller runs, like the price per unit is much lower when you do large quantities, because that setup cost is absorbed into each item.
In America.
Right. Or anywhere really.
Not really.
So.
Now, this is going to look like I'm kicking Brandon off the panel, but he has a haircut that he needs to get to. So, Brandon, it is your time to go, my friend. You told me to let you know.
I appreciate the time. My daughter, she's in a soccer tournament, and I balance family and business, and it's the next thing I got to get to.
You balance it well.
Don't forget what you're going
No.
dressed as and where you're going next.
Yeah, so, and I got to run home and dress for the Marine Corps ball that I'm going to be attending. So I'm going to the soccer game in what I'm wearing to the Marine Corps ball.
I love it.
This is the life.
That's the life of a veteran entrepreneur.
That sounds way more fun.
Yeah.
Can I be dismissed to go to
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
You got a
Yeah.
ticket?
Very much. And,
You got it.
And I'd love to do more panels with you guys, because I really think that these kind of things are very beneficial for everybody to understand, what's going on in not only our community but within our country and the world. So,
Absolutely.
all right, you guys have a good one.
You got it. So now on the topic of service-based. So Jessica, you have a unique service-based company, which you do a lot of photography. And then Jason, you do leadership development from the service-based industry, where the costs of things may not have as much of an impact on your business as how you set yourself up for success. How do you guys look forward to the next year in the things that you guys are offering? And we'll start with Jessica.
Well, you have to adapt and overcome. And at first, my intention when I started as a photographer was fine art photography. I didn't want to hear about any other means for photography but fine art. That was my grand future. However, when I first purchased my online website in 2019, November 10th, COVID happened the next year, 2020, and I had to adapt and overcome. And I kept getting asked to go do gigs.
Well,
Freelance
event
work.
photography,
And
yeah.
I fell in love with creating art with people's family memories. So I kept getting hired for, I used to say everything but weddings, because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself to anything, but I always used to say no weddings. then I got hired for a wedding. So I've learned to say yes.
Cool.
And to take in the challenges and to use my creative art or my creative eye, I would say, to create art. So I do everything from professional headshots to maternity shoots, which actually one of my favorite maternity shoots was the CEO of Beds and Tech. She was about to have a baby, and that's how I was introduced to Ikram.
Ooh, how did that introduction happen?
Oh, my friend Dave called me. And I was very busy with work.
Yeah.
I only had one day available,
Yeah.
the day she was gonna give birth.
Yep.
And I said, well, I can do this day in the morning. He's like, let me ask her if she can do it.
Yep.
She came in. I photographed her and her husband and her future baby the day she was gonna give birth.
Yep.
That's what we in business call an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, now you've also shot his first birthday party.
His first birthday party, her
So,
sister's party,
yep.
and it's been a blessing.
Yep. So just say yes.
Just say yes.
Love it.
You know, what's the worst that can happen?
Absolutely.
You don't know until you say yes.
I love it. Jason, what about for you, my friend? You've got some cool stuff that you're working on.
First, let me say, Jessica's photography is beautiful. If you haven't seen any of it and you'd like to, check out her episode of my podcast, The Leader's Mindset.
Yeah.
We did a wonderful
Shameless
episode
plug.
a couple of months ago. It's,
Shameless plug, which I need to get onto soon.
yeah, absolutely. I gotta get Brandon, I gotta get, I mean, if you haven't been on, you need to be on.
Just
But,
pay me, I'll take care of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so service-based businesses, one of the real advantages, our margins can be really high. We don't pay raw materials costs.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay for inputs and outputs. And
You're the product.
The big challenge that is consistent with a product-based business for a service-based business, and you can tell me if you feel the same way or you see the same thing, is you have to get yourself out there. You have to be marketing yourself. And that comes with some kind of expense, whether that is time, whether that is money, but you have to be out there marketing yourself, and that's where a lot of the incoming money goes out for me, is marketing and growing the audience and building the reach. And it's not just the ads, it's doing the market research.
Yeah.
That takes time, that can take money to do market research, because what I find, whether I'm creating in-person courses or programs for companies to go into their company and work with them, or whether I'm creating a new digital product, I have to really, really tightly refine that product market fit. Who is the audience I'm creating this workshop or this digital course for? And then how do I not just craft my knowledge? My knowledge is there, right? My knowledge can be applied to everyone. The hard part is, how do I communicate it to a specific audience who can use it in a way, right? The thing I'm working on now is working with tech companies. How do I craft my knowledge as an Air Force officer, 20 years of building teams and taking them all over the world? How do I translate that knowledge to a young person who's a manager for the first time at a tech startup or even a bigger tech company like Google or Adobe or whoever that could be? And that is the constant challenge in a service-based business, is always making sure that you're listening to your audience and matching that product market fit. And it's not static, it changes day to day, month to month, year to year.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. This is a question for everybody, and we'll start with Jason, and we'll work our way back down. If you could give one piece of advice to a veteran that's looking at starting a business, whether they're still in the military, whether they're getting out of the military, or whether they've already been out and they're just looking for that next opportunity, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who's just getting started in entrepreneurship?
Traction, traction, traction. Build your prototype, show it to people, get it out there, get the feedback, refine the prototype. If someone's willing to buy it from you, sell it to them.
Yeah.
Build another one if it's a product. If it's a service-based business, just keep selling the service people. Take the feedback, refine that product market fit, do it. Get the traction, show that you can have the sales, bring the money in. Now you've got flexibility to change it, modify it, branch it out. Traction, traction, traction.
Love that.
I cannot say enough. Find a community of entrepreneurs. You will not go far by yourself. Just talking to other people that have done it before, talking to other entrepreneurs that are in other genres of business, you get fed so much knowledge and you get to learn so much from them. and take away their nuggets they have from you. Also the networking that comes with it. Find a community so you can build your business and continue to grow the right way and learn from others.
I am going to agree with Manifa because I believe most of us are part of the veteran entrepreneurship programs that are available for free, like
Yes.
Bunker Labs.
Absolutely.
Dave was my mentor, and also there's VWise,
There's
with-
VWise.
for the women out
IVML.
there, veterans. But first and foremost, start by creating an LLC, limited liability corporation or company.
Company.
Sorry, I have a thing called fibro fog because I have a disability. So the one thing that a lot of veterans have because of our time in service are VA disabilities. Well, I work at my own pace and at my own time, and I gave myself that opportunity. When I was working for someone, sometimes my fibromyalgia would act out and I couldn't get out of bed, or I was in so much pain that I had to go to my VA appointments. Now I am my own boss. I work when my body allows me to work, and I also work online in the comfort of my house all the time. And when you create an LLC, it will give you the freedom to do what you want. I went from freelance photography to now I'm writing a book. So there are no limitations out there. If your body is incapable, you still have your mind. Remind yourself. I had to remind myself when my fibromyalgia got so bad that guess what, Jessica? Maybe my body right now is not able to go get a gig and work as a photographer, but I have a mind and a story. And I started using my voice and I started writing a book that I will publish next year called Warrior.
No.
Love that.
I can't echo enough of what they said. You know, before I go into what my main thing is, you know, find your tribe, find your community. You know, for me, it was Warrior Rising. It was the local veteran community, and anywhere that I've been, whether it was Ohio, San Diego, here in Las Vegas. But the biggest advice that I can give you is do not fear failure. You have to have the willingness to fail, and look at it as fail means first attempt in learning. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times to create the light bulb. He didn't stop. So be willing to fail, and if somebody tells you no, it no's right then and there, but no stands for next opportunity.
I love that. Thank you all for sharing that. And as they mentioned, Las Vegas is one of the communities where all these veteran organizations really do work together. And if you are here in the Vegas Valley, there's a great opportunity that we have every Tuesday. We have an event called Office Hours. It's over at the Leatherneck Club from 2 to 4 every Tuesday. And this isn't just open and exclusive to veteran entrepreneurs. It's open to all entrepreneurs because we do want to be inclusive to everyone. And it's just a great way to, one, support a locally owned, veteran-owned business. At the Leatherneck Club, it's Taco Tuesday, so they always have different tacos. But there's been great conversations where people have met new people coming into town have got introduced to the right people just by coming to those. And we have great organizations like Bunker Labs, Vets in Tech, and Warrior Rising, all as resources to connect the dots and get more resources to veteran entrepreneurs. So thank you guys all for sharing that. The last question that I want to talk about is how we acquire funding. Now, I myself have always been a bootstrap type person. As I work with more and more startups of different shapes and sizes, I'm not a huge fan of what I call the Shark Tank economy, where everybody watches Shark Tank and they think that they're going to be able to pitch their deck and immediately get a $1 million investment and then it's game over. Instead, we want to make sure that we actively look at different ways to get funding. But I just wanted to go down the line. What are the ways that you've got funding for your business? And then what advice do you have for people that are seeking some type of funding?
I've had a couple different ways of getting funding, but the biggest one is you use other people's money. I crowdfunded to be able to pre-sell the products. I was able to have the opportunity to, through Warrior Rising, go to a pitch competition and receive a $10,000 grant. My former employer gave me a $10,000 loan, and it's just a matter of finding opportunities and resources. Friends, family, start out there, but initially bootstrapped, and look, there's resources that you can find for different pitch competitions you can get into, and ultimately it's the bottom line is yeah, we bootstrap in the beginning, but do it as little as possible and use other people's money.
I first started with self-funding with my personal credit cards. Then I started with business credit. However, and I will ask all of you guys to hold me accountable, I have heard of crowdfunding. I have been very shy and intimidated by it. And overall, I'm very, my abuelito in Mexico, we were all trained that we don't ask for help. So I still have that engraved, but I really would like to start learning more about crowdfunding and being able, because self-funding has limited me and I have bigger dreams and I want to accomplish them, and I have to do what Frank did to get to his level.
We'll get you there.
Well, when I started my business, I didn't want to wait. So I bootstrapped. If I had to do it all over again, that's why it's so important to talk to people and plan. I would have applied for all of these grants that want to give you money and not only just give it to you, but help you along the way. But no, I wanted to start my business today, right now, December 19th, 2019. So yes, I was caught up too. But now after I spent all my money, I got wise in meeting my community and them talking to me about grants and certain organizations that will help. And it's not just about organizations, also the VA. If you apply, they will pay for all your office equipment. Okay, there are certain programs out there a lot of people don't know about, and I didn't until I came into my community. So I did apply for a lot of grants, and I received some. You got to get very good at grant writing and have a bank of all these answers so you can keep crafting them as a new grant comes. And plus, I go to resources. It's not just about money. It's about office equipment. It's about companies that will mentor you and then in the future collaborate with you. So there's a lot of that will turn into money. So there's a lot of options out there.
I also bootstrapped. I've always bootstrapped. I'm a big believer that revenue cures all ailments. So get out there and sell is the number one thing. But also, you're going to find as you get out there and sell, people are going to ask you if you can do something different. And I remember when the first time someone asked me, hey, can you do a business plan and a pitch deck for me? Part of me wanted to say, it's not really what I do. And then they offered me the money to do it. And I said, it's what I do now.
It's what I do. we do that all the time.
So my advice is, in fact, I had someone reach out to me in the last 24 hours for something that I don't really do, but I think I'm capable of doing, right? So you're going to have to do things. So unless you have a real moral problem of doing it, or you think you really can't deliver on it, say yes to doing those things. It can open up a whole new area of what your business is about, or another business for you, right? We always like to have multiple streams of income, and in the 2020s, none of us can afford to be just one thing, and we all need to be kind of a media company at the same time, right? So don't be afraid to say yes to things that you think you can do and deliver on, and branch out a little bit.
Love that.
I want to touch on it. So somebody asked you to do that. It encouraged you to learn to do something, right?
I knew how to do it. It just wasn't what I started my business to do, and I had to get over the pride and the ego of it's not what I do.
Exactly.
And I got over it real quick.
But you also, in a lot of cases, a lot of people look at it as like, well, let me fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that. It's like, when somebody asks you an opportunity to do something, and it's within somewhat of your wheelhouse, have the willingness to learn and figure it out, and to be able to do that pivot.
And be real clear that you're learning along the way. Right? Be real clear that I've never done this before. I'm happy to work with you on this. We can negotiate the price a little bit because I am learning at this. I always want to under promise and over deliver, right?
There it is. Thank you guys all so much for that. Last thing, let's tell people where they can find you or where they can take an action and support anything that you're doing.
Okay. So before I do that, did we thank the hosts here?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, we thank them from the very beginning. Yep.
I don't know how much
Yeah.
the audience got to see, but there's some
Yeah.
incredibly beautiful NFT artwork in
Absolutely,
here,
yeah.
and you should come down and see it.
Yeah,
So-
we're at the Journey Gallery, so it's right next to Taverna Costera. I tried to snag that guy before, but he's in and out of meetings. But hopefully, we'll be able to get him on the show across the way soon.
Yeah. So I'm Jason LeDuc, founder, CEO, leadership strategist of Jason LeDuc Leadership Consultants. So look us up online. We're actually live streaming this on our YouTube channel right now among Dave's Pursue Vegas channel and the Tech Alley channel. So Jason LeDuc Leadership Consultants on all the social media. Look us up. It's great for our search if you actually search for us. So, but reach out. Always happy to talk. And also my podcast, The Leader's Mindset. Some of the folks on this line have been on it. The rest will be on it. So check out The Leader's Mindset. We talk to amazing leaders, whether they are business leaders, community leaders, government. We span the gamut. We teach those leadership lessons from all across the community.
I love it.
Well, hello again. I'm Monifa Keynes, founder and CEO of Queen of Spades, where I design and create clothing and jewelry. Most of it is full of color, because I love color. So you can find me at www.queenofspadestyle.com. Also on IG, Queen of Spades Style. Also on TikTok, Queen of Spades Style. And I do collections, 4 collections a year. So the next collection is coming out. So join the email group so you will know right away when my new collection drops. Thank you.
Oh.
I am Jessica Vargas, and you can find me at Instagram at JessV_777. There you can see my artwork. You can also hire me for gigs, and you can learn more about my story and the current advocacy that I will be doing in 2025 with Face the Fight and the Robert Irvine Foundation. And you can also find me at his website because he did an interview. So please look me up, and pretty soon I'm an affiliate for this guy because I love his crayons.
Yes, it is. That'll happen today.
Those down before she
I
leaves.
know.
So, again, my name is Frank Manto, and I'm going to spell the last name for you, and so you can find it whenever you search it. It's M-A-N-T as in Tango, E-A-U. You can find me at frankmanto.com. My company is Miltreats, MILTREATS.com. We're on all social media platforms. You can just search Miltreats or you can search my name. And on my website, you will be able to also have the resources to Warrior Rising and my companies as well. And if you're interested in signing up for Warrior Rising, go to warriorrising.org. Click on the menu to become a vetrepreneur. And if you're interested in becoming a part of the local platoon that we are launching here in Las Vegas next year, go to my website, click on, the link's not there yet, it's going to be live probably later today or tomorrow. Join the Warrior Rising Platoon Las Vegas, and it'll have you a form to sign up for that. And here to help out and support any way I can, and I appreciate the support.
Love that. And for me, my name is Dave Berlin, your humble host today. Thank you guys so much for coming on the panel. I realize I haven't made this a formal announcement yet, but it is Global Entrepreneurship Week. I'm the state coordinator for that. We've got events going on all over. So a few places where you can find it is one, gewnevada.com, also gew.co. And I have a fun little announcement. I will actually be launching season 1 of the Pursue Vegas podcast on Thursday.
Nice.
We've already shot the whole first season, 12 incredible guests, and we've already got a podcast studio excited to sponsor 22 episodes for season 2. And many of you will be invited to not only that launch party, but you'll be invited for season 2 as well. So the Pursue Vegas podcast will be coming. You can find that at www.pursue.vegas. I think we're good. I don't know if Ben's on the other line, if we
Ben,
immediately
should we
switch
have
over
the
to him.
line? I'm gonna run over there real quick. I think we have, stick on the stream. I
Yep.
think we have a couple more folks who want to get on the stream today before we wrap it up.
Perfect.
So I will.
Oh, I'm on camera.
All right, and we're back.
We're back,
We're
guys.
back.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for that insightful panel. We are back at Tech Alley. I am here again with Nadia and Lauren of Alter New Media,
We're back. We're holding down the fort.
the bosses of Global Entrepreneur Week Nevada.
Whoa, fellow bosses.
Fellow bosses.
We're all like the big
We're
bosses
in this
of
together.
GW.
So Jason has not given us just
He's
great
coming right around the
instruction.
corner.
All right.
He's coming through. He's pulling
Coming
up.
through. He's pulling up.
We have Mr. Jason pulling up. He's coming
Be here
over.
shortly.
I am documenting this high-speed walkover as we speak. He's coming and he's here, rounding
here.
the corner.
Yes.
He's
He's
here.
trying.
We'll-
He's navigating
we'll
the
let
corner.
him take
He's
over.
gonna take over, kind of, as I move out of the way.
Squeeze behind you.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it work. All right, guys. Bye.
All right, sir.
Everybody.
So, how'd we do? Did we make it? Is everything?
Yeah, I
is
think
everything
so.
sticking here? All right. So we are back over on the main stream. Ben, if you would, be so kind, or ladies, take that ice pack off of the camera. Grab another one from out of the cooler. You can stick the used one on the table. We're just we use the ice packs to keep the camera from overheating. It shouldn't be a problem in here today, but I was actually recording an episode at home the other day, and it did overheat, even inside with. So.
All right, sir. What's next on the
Have
agenda?
a seat. Let's chat a little bit. I don't know how much you got to promote yourself. I know Dave talked to you a little bit. So yeah, just lay that on the top there. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So what have you gotten to tell us out about Ben Levski and your companies and all your projects today?
Well, Hunter Marketing is an 11-year-old marketing agency. We help clients with branding and strategy. Often we help people develop business models, especially when they're trying to sell something online. For instance, during the pandemic, we helped a lot of our customers virtualize what they were doing, productize it, and then deliver it remotely. So that's just an example. We've helped clients develop brands, also products, courses, and really positioning what they're offering. So we not only help with the strategy, but with the execution, and we help deliver results, whether it's SEO or purchasing ads or on social media, that sort of thing.
And you've taken it upon yourself. I know you guys talked a lot about this a little bit earlier, but you've taken it upon yourself to really kind of get the calendar straight here in Las Vegas, to let the world know about, especially in the tech community, what's going on.
Yeah, I've been networking in Las Vegas for many years, and the challenge has always been it's really easy to find out what's going on yesterday, but not tomorrow.
The number of times I've said I would have gone to that is I can't even count the number of times I've said that.
Yeah, and I got tired of complaining about it and decided to make that into a frustrating hobby, and developed several. I like Vegas as a brand, so we have a lot of .Vegas sites. Tech.Vegas is a place where we've built that's a free place to list all of the tech and startup events in town. And by tech, that could be med tech, that could be fintech, that could be marketing tech. Like there is such a variety to the tech community, but at the heart, it's startups and new product technology.
One of the things I like to talk about, especially in the context of vets in tech and getting young or even older veterans into tech careers, is that in Las Vegas, we're very fortunate. Right? We have different kinds of tech that are not traditional Silicon Valley tech. It's not, when you talk about tech, a lot of people think coding, they think apps, they think, hardware development, that kind of stuff. But here, in Vegas, we have sports tech, we have entertainment tech, we have all these areas where a young person or even an older person can go get involved and learn the technology that goes along with putting on the amazing shows we have here in Las Vegas, running the hotels, running the casinos, supporting the sporting events we have here in Las Vegas, and not just not just the Las Vegas Raiders, not just the Golden Knights, but National Finals Rodeo is coming here in just a couple of weeks, and they have incredible tech requirements that go along with that.
Yeah, and then just from the news this week, we have a growing film and immersive and film industry here. We have some wonderful studios like Worry and View, where they are actually filming feature films and commercials here virtually. And now we have Warner Brothers. The big announcement this week was that Warner Brothers is going to build a campus next to Blackfire.
Yeah, that finally officially announced. It's been talked about for a long time,
Right.
And really pulling the trigger.
And that's, those investments are billions with a B.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Absolutely. I can't even, it was double-digit billions was the number that I think they were talking about in investing in the Las Vegas community here. And it's not just to build facilities, it's to create, they're not just going to build facilities and then temporarily bring people out from Hollywood to do these jobs. They are creating the jobs here in Nevada in order to build a new location for the media media industry here in Las Vegas, in addition to what's going on everywhere else.
I mean, one of the measures of success is, are the jobs going to be here? Are they going to come here for 6 weeks to do a shoot, or are they going to be here because they're going to have access to recurring roles or recurring productions?
Yep. And it looks like the jobs are going to be here. The Discovery Warner Brothers folks, I guess, made the commitment that they will work with UNLV, and every student in UNLV film will be able to do a 6-week internship at the studio once it's built. They've made that look, that's not a legally binding contract, kids, okay? But that is what I've read about and heard about, is that's the kind of level of commitment they're making. Is they are looking to create not just the facilities, not just the tech, but the people here in Las Vegas to fill those jobs that they're going to need in the future.
Yeah. And now we still need the legislature to do a part, and there's a lot of conditions that have to be met. But it's very exciting that Vegas is the place that's being looked at for this sort of opportunity.
Yeah.
And no matter what industry you talk about, Vegas is in the center of that kind of conversation.
Yeah. So what else are you excited about besides the film industry and, of course, Global Entrepreneurship Week? We've talked all about that a bunch of times today. What else are you excited about?
Well, we have a new project that is convention focused that we talked about a little bit earlier, but I'll mention it briefly. We have a convention services directory called conventionsolutions.vegas, and there really aren't many places to find all the service providers for that industry in one place. And if you're coming from out of town, right now you have to do 10 searches to find all the partners you might need for your convention, the booth talent or the photographer or the booth rental or the event or things you might want to do while you're in town. So our goal is to make that easier and put it all in one place.
That's fantastic. I want to flip that coin over a little bit, because you go to a lot of conventions, or you go to some big conventions. How can entrepreneurs leverage you, especially in Las Vegas, because everybody comes here for their convention now, and if you don't, what are you doing? I don't know why anyone would have a convention in a city other than Las Vegas, but apparently they do. What are some of the ways local entrepreneurs, Vegas entrepreneurs, can benefit from attending these conventions that come to town?
Well, based on what the entrepreneur does, they might be interested in meeting multiple vendors. So having a plan beforehand, going over that, the session list, the sponsor list, the exhibitor list, and being intentional about who is it you really want to meet. And you don't want to meet necessarily the administrative person at that company. So you want to figure out who's there that is a perfect introduction for you, that could be a customer, could be a referral partner, that sort of thing.
As much fun as it is to meet the local model they hired to hand out pens at the booth, that may not be your decision maker. So you're going to go to CES this year coming up, right? Tell us a little bit about your strategy, about what you're going to, without giving away too much, what your strategy is about what you're going to plan to do at CES and how it's going to benefit your business.
Well, CES starts with logistics. Like, you have to figure out where you want to be when, and you have to really look at what's going on in each of the different venues. There's usually, 8 or 9 venues for CES?
At least, right? It's the entire Las Vegas Convention Center it is usually the entire. It's not called Sands Convention Center anymore, but it's usually that entire. There have been years when it's over at Caesars, it's over at Mandalay Bay. I mean, CES is big. It pretty much takes up the whole town.
Yeah, and you want to have a really good plan for what do you want to accomplish, who do you want to meet, where will you be at different points, and that's tricky. Like you're drinking from the fire hose as far as all the sessions and different areas you can go to. So you want to sign up for all these things early, have a calendar ready, have your comfortable shoes on because you're going to be needing them.
Yeah, you're going to be walking. My favorite part of CES, I went 2017, I think, was the year I went. And they have aligned with Tech Alley here, they have a startup area, startup pavilion, which is a whole lot of small tech startups who are looking for investors and looking to sell. And you get to go see some really, really cool things that you had no idea even existed in the startup pavilion.
Yeah, and you're meeting people at that earlier stage of their development. It's funny, you can go from that to the giant, $100,000 booths in the same show.
Yeah.
And it really does speak to the breadth of the whole consumer electronics industry.
The other thing I found really fascinating, and I didn't even know they had this, was there's a whole area of automotive tech. And there were all kinds of things. This was back in 2017. One company was trying to crack the problem of distracted driving by using audio sensors in the car to know who was sitting in which seat and who would be able to, which person should be able to use their phone. It was very interesting. It was I don't know how it turned out, but that was one of the technologies there of using all these audio sensors around the car to know this voice is the driver. They shouldn't be able to use their phone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. I think it'd be good if we just didn't put on makeup while we're driving, but
I don't ever do that, but I good advice, right? So I'm guilty of eating when I drive sometimes.
How about you, Jason? You're talking so much about what everyone else is doing. Tell us what you've got going on.
I have a couple things going on. I am very much in a season of getting ready for 2025. So I have two new things that I'm launching. The first that I'm launching is a new corporate training program. So for bigger companies who have a bunch of managers to train, they haven't done really a lot of leadership development training in their companies. We have a program. I come in, we do 4 half-day sessions over the course of 4 months in your company. In between that, every other week, we have virtual live coaching for an hour every other week for each participant in the course. So if you've got anywhere between 6 and 10 managers you want to train or future leaders you want to train, we have that corporate offering that we're going to be offering in 2025. We're going to do 4 or 5 companies in the first half of 2025. That's about all the capacity we've got. So that's kind of be a limited offer. To expand it out a little bit, though, I've created a very similar version that's an online course that is a lot of the same concepts, but it's self-paced digital course. There's videos, there's exercises. That comes with access to a weekly group coaching virtual session. And so you can come in and ask your questions and talk with your peers in the course and start having those leadership discussions that are so important to leaders to start developing a culture of leadership with your friends, with your peers, with your supervisors, with your team, but offering that at a lower price point, but on a much wider scale to people there. So that's why I've been kind of out of pocket for the last couple of weeks, getting those offers ready to go. So
well, that's a big lift to get a new course set up like that. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
What technology tools do you favor when you're building something like that?
I am actually using it's not new, it's new to me. I'm using a new software called Marketing Money Machine that has its own internal courses feature. So I'm using that. A little more complicated than something like a Thinkific or one of those platforms, but a lot more power that comes along with it. It's also part of a bigger package that comes with a CRM and marketing packages and all that kind of stuff. So it's new technology to me, but it's very powerful, but it's easy to use on the front end for the user, and that's what I like about it. So
that's
a little more complicated for me, much easier for you to use. And we use so instead of giving you like a worksheet to go fill out as part of the course, we actually have serve quizzes, open answer quizzes set up in the program. So you type your answers in, and now I get to see them before you come to group coaching. Or if you ask a question, I get to go see your answers. I don't have to have you send me your worksheet. I just get your answers automatically. So lots of new things we're adopting. I've done some digital courses in the past, but it's very much been watch a video, do a worksheet, no coaching, no group coaching involved with it. Now we've got all that, including online forums for discussion and all that kind of thing. So really, it comes down to great leaders talk with other leaders about how they're doing things and get advice and share. And that's a lot of what this course is geared to, is not just getting you to learn the basics, but to discuss and share with other leaders as well. So that's the new technology piece. And you know, we're leveraging everything we've learned from doing podcasts with the video and the audio and pulling all that tech in to try to create the greatest student experience possible in that. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Thank you for letting me flip the script and
Yeah, no,
ask you some questions.
I feel like I'm always asking the questions. So the last hour has been great because I sat on Dave's panel and he asked the questions, and now you've asked the question. But I do see we've got someone else who wants to join us. So
All right.
So
thank you, sir.
Thank you for taking on the hosting duties while we got ready for the panel today.
No problem.
And thanks everybody. Thank Ben Levsky for helping us out today. So. Welcome.
Hello.
So have a seat.
Yeah.
Tell us who you are, what you're all about, what brings you to Tech Alley today.
Okay, great. My name is Bashir Kassir. I'm the founder of mytradezone.com. My Trade Zone is kind of a social networking for business, social and trade networking for business, and it connects businesses together locally and globally.
Okay.
And it enables trade show organizers and event organizers to create digital twin version of their events.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, for example, company who maybe cannot afford to go to a trade show for cost purpose, they can, if the trade show organizer created that, they can do that. So suddenly underprivileged company can also attend.
So there are a couple of advantages here if I'm understanding it right. So because trade shows also have limited space.
Yeah.
But so they can only, when you come to CES here, even though it's taking up almost all of Las Vegas, there's limited space on the trade show floor. So they can only sell so many booths. They can only sell so many workshop slots. They can only sell so many breakout sessions for they can only have so many speakers. But what you're doing is giving them an ability to have a virtual sidecar to the conference, so they can sell virtual expo space at a lower rate to a business who might not be able to afford to come to CES or who might not just be able to come.
That's exactly right. Not only that, they can also company and trade show attendee and exhibitors can network beyond the trade show dates.
Okay.
Because sometimes trade show day is 2, 3, 4 days. But with my trade zone, they can still connect beyond those actual physical dates. So it's like our tagline is the always open trade show.
Love it.
Always open
Love
networking event. And I had another company which I exited a couple of years back, which I dealt with hundreds and hundreds of B2B companies. And talking to my previous client enabled me to build my trade zone.
Okay. So you saw it from your previous company, you saw a need for this as well.
Yeah.
So there are features there that let people stay connected after and build business relationships and maybe even do some business with each other after the trade show is over.
And even in my previous company, I wanted to attend many other trade shows that I cannot afford because they were too expensive, number one, and number two, maybe logistically not possible to attend so many shows. So this solves that problem, that company can make themselves available to more.
I love that. And I instantly see the attraction for the companies who may not be able to afford or make it to something like a CES or a SEMA here in Las Vegas. What's the pitch you make to the trade shows to get them involved in this?
That's a challenge. So
that's why I asked.
So the main pitch is it provides value added to both their exhibitors and attendees, because now they're beyond just physically exhibiting. Their attendee and exhibitors can network between each other beyond the event date. So that's the main pitch, number one. And number two, it solves the attrition problem. I had many of my previous clients, they were opting to spend their marketing dollar on digital alternatives and canceling their trade shows.
Okay.
So now, rather than company thinking of not going at all, at least they're providing them a pass to exhibit rather than just canceling.
So there's actually a problem that I didn't realize in the trade show industry is that some of the exhibitors have stopped exhibiting.
Yeah.
And now you're providing an opportunity for trade shows to get some of those exhibitors back.
Yes, and maximize their return on investment. Because everybody have limited spending dollar and so on. So that's kind of the main pitch to that. On top of that, the main pitch to the businesses is that we're providing a permanent trade show booth online. A permanent it's a free to join by Trade Zone, and so any business can have their own permanent. They can put their marketing material, maybe price list, and all kind of things on that virtual trade show. Now they can upgrade, of course, to a VIP version, just like on LinkedIn, for example. Then they would get a little bit more features and so on.
Yeah, like what's the experience like if I log into my Trade Zone and I'm looking at the booth, the exhibitor booth? What does it look like to me? What can I see?
Right now, you will see the profile of the company, and you will see tags like images, like maybe files, like maybe resources, maybe think about it like you're at a booth, you have a marketing material on your trade show, you can upload that, and you can also think about it like a matchmaking for businesses.
Okay.
Because when businesses sign up, you can say who are you and who you're trying to connect to, and we're building right now an AI algorithm to do smart matchmaking and recommendations. So it's just like dating site, but for business, kind of, because it's connecting businesses.
All right,
together.
I love it. Yeah, you're looking for this. They do this.
Yeah.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
So very cool. So have you thought ahead to the virtual reality way of doing this?
Yes, I thought about that, but right now it's self-funded, the company, and we're looking to raise money for seed funding on our deck. We're putting what you just said. It's a very good question. Is that it will enable us maybe to partner with other company or build it ourselves, a virtual space.
Okay, very cool.
The power of it is we have the data, so we can map the data into any other engine to do that.
So how much are you looking to raise, and what are you going to do with the money in 2025? What are the next steps on the tech platform?
Currently we already spent about $2 million into the platform. We're looking to raise about $3 million right now, and we're looking for a lead investor right now, and we're already part of accelerator program right now that we're working with.
Which accelerator program are you working with?
In Orange County.
Okay.
It's called the Launchpad.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been like almost 3 years in the making, and the site's been beta live for sometimes like about more than a year. But right now, we're gonna start officially. We finished the monetization tool.
Okay.
Because we have a monetization tool, creator tools, and all kinds of things. So we're looking to on the go-to-market plan. That's why I'm attending Tech Alley here to
love to hear people talking about a go-to-market plan.
Yeah.
Not enough founders talk about their go-to-market plan.
Yeah. So to meet maybe the right people, the right connection, and so on.
Excellent. So, what's next? What's coming up? What are you excited about?
I am very, very excited about this will be the next big thing because it's like a generational company. It's not just like for this year or next year. So this is like, there is no social networking for business right now or dedicated for business. There's bits and pieces by many different companies. And so that's what we're building. And I'm very excited about that. So that's why we're trying to build the right partnership with the right company, not necessarily for money purpose, but more for strategic connection.
Well, and I'm thinking you probably have an exit strategy in mind and who that partner might be. I'm not going to give anything away, but I have some thoughts.
Yeah, I have some thoughts as well. Yeah.
So very
yeah,
cool.
we're very excited. Thank you for having me here at the
my pleasure. That's what we're here for. We're here to help tell the stories of all the great folks who are building tech companies in Las Vegas and supporting tech companies in Las Vegas. So, so tell everybody where they can reach you and where they can find the platform.
Okay, it's the website is mytradezone.com, and it's free to join. Any business can join for free. You can build your own virtual booth online, and there are, it's like a B2B search engine, and you can fill out all the information. We recently moved to the Vegas area.
Okay.
About less than a year ago from Orange County, California.
What brought you to Vegas?
Because I founded the company in Nevada, and we want to establish residency here in Nevada because of the high tax rate in California.
Yes, understood. No, I just, you know, people have different reasons, but I figured that was part of it.
That's the main reason, yeah.
So very cool. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
And we'll, you know, come back to Tech Alley in a few months, and we'll check in with you again.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Okay.
What is
so,
up?
So I think we're getting ready to wrap up here. I wanted to. There's a couple other folks that I think wanted to try to get on, but you know, we'll give them a few minutes to try to come in. But it's getting to be 2:30. We've been going strong for.
Look at this.
This says 3 hours and 39 minutes. I thought we were going longer than that, but hey,
I wonder
who
if
knows?
that's just counting the video part.
Oh, it might just be counting. It might not be counting what we had on the other deal.
Oh yeah.
So oh, by the way, make sure you leave that running on your phone so it continues to upload.
It is.
It's still uploading.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how are we doing? All right, 75%. That's fantastic. So yeah, because we're getting great 4K video that we can use. So we'll get some.
That was a great panel discussion.
That was a great panel. So if you didn't see the panel, we had a veteran entrepreneurs panel. First time we've done that here at Tech Alley as part of Vets in Tech. We've done some other things with veterans.
I was kind of glad no one was actually in the room, because I think any background noise would have taken away from it. But it was a nice
something to think about using that room
setting,
before. That might actually be a fantastic place to do this in the future.
Yeah,
where we have people waiting outside and bring them in, and we don't have like a live audience.
Yeah, that'd be
so
cool.
Something to think about in the future if we can work the schedules out.
Oh yeah,
in the future. So highlights of today.
Highlights of today. First, I gotta say, the venues are always incredible. So super shout out to Taverna Costera and the Journey Gallery. But also, I did what I could with the weather, and I think it worked out perfect.
I think you did okay. I mean, you know, hang on. Let me look at Las Vegas in November. Blue sky.
Yeah, blue sky.
A couple of clouds.
What are we at? Like 64 degrees?
Some odd degrees.
Just perfect.
You delivered.
Yeah,
you
right.
Delivered. So
no, actually, it was really good. You know, it's amazing to think that this has been going on for 3 years. You know, and it's very much. I know it came to life right after pandemic, as the world was trying to get back to normal. Vegas normal.
Whatever's normal here in Vegas.
It's really fascinating to see that come full circle, because you know there's so many amazing things happening here across the valley. It was just great to see it, man. So I'm really excited to be a part of this organization and everything that's happened, and then really just to dig in and see everybody get excited. And for everyone that didn't know what Global Entrepreneurship Week was, you know, for more people to get involved in that. And then I'm really excited to see how things play out. So perfect little kickoff to the week.
So yeah, I think it's fantastic that we were able to kick off Global Entrepreneurship Week a full 48 hours before every other city in the world.
Yep.
I love that we made that choice.
Disruptive.
I love that GEN and GEW didn't discourage us from doing that. I love that they supported that. But yeah, things really kick off. I mean, today was the kickoff for it, but we have some events coming up Monday for GEW here in Vegas. So tell us about what's going to happen Monday, so anybody who's watching can kind of calibrate their calendar and get thinking about jumping out to these Vegas events.
Definitely be at Bottega Exchange. Bottega Exchange is the place to be on Monday. We'll have a few different speakers and stuff throughout the morning, and then we do have a panel and a workshop in the afternoon. So Bottega Exchange has opened their doors to free co-working for the week.
Yep.
So it'll be amazing to catch up with people there.
Yep.
And collaborate.
So come on down. Don't get any work done. Meet a lot of people. Make a lot of great connections. Make a lot of sales. Do good stuff. But build those relationships. We just came from a panel talking about how important those relationships are.
Indeed.
So that's Monday.
Yep. That's as far as I can make it right now.
Yeah,
I'm still a little.
There are a number of things going on.
My feelings are a little hurt because of the Mike Tyson fight last night, but we'll get through today.
Feelings of hurt because of the result, or because you weren't invited, or
no? I think it was great. I think it's. I don't care. I can tell you in my own personal life. My training has increased over the last week and a half, just by getting hyped on the Tyson fight. So, yeah, that's just me. Now, I went this morning just to make sure I didn't lose that steam.
Yep.
So,
very cool. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. I think we'll sign off here.
Is there anybody
today.
that was supposed to come?
There was one person I was going to try to get on because we weren't able to get her on earlier, but we'll figure something out. So I'm going to put her on the other podcast anyway at some point. So, but yeah, the second round of talks is over, right? So, yeah, I think we'll take this opportunity to sign off, and thank you all for joining us today. Make sure, I haven't, because of all the jumping back and forth and switching hosts, I haven't gotten to do much of my, make sure you come down every third Saturday of the month to Tech Alley. If you're in Las Vegas and you're interested in tech, crypto, NFTs, drones, AI, software development, apps, hardware prototyping.
Yeah, right.
Agile practices, if you have something you want to demo, a product you want to demo, an app you want to demo, come on down and do demo time here at Tech Alley every third Saturday of the month. If you live in Las Vegas and you're interested in tech, you got to come on down. If you're going to be in Las Vegas during the third Saturday of the month and you're interested in tech, you got to come on down. If you're thinking about coming to Vegas and you're interested in tech, try to schedule your trip for the third Saturday of the month so you can come on down. We'd love to have you here, centered around Taverna Costera here at the corner of Charleston and Main in downtown Las Vegas. Thanks again to Taverna Costera. They are one of the primary sponsors here. They make the coffee happen, they make the water happen, they make the place happen, and they make the lunch happen for everyone who comes and participates and signs in. So
indeed.
So another great Tech Alley in the books. We'll be back next month on whatever the third Saturday of the month is. So get out there, do great things today. Onward and upward.
Go fight, win.